Welcome to Martin Memorial Field, folks. It is the Western Maine Class A championship here. South Portland Red Riots against the Marshwood blue-purple thingies.
Hawks.
Hawks, the Marshwood Hawks. This is Brett Wolfgram here. I'm your play-by-play man here with my two color men. The two men that know SP the best, probably. We got Mike Bryant, the main man, and then, of course, in the backfield, Moochie Davis. Guys, what do you think of today?
Well, I tell you, we're going to have ourselves one whale of a game, I think. Early on, both teams will be feeling each other out a little bit. We know how big Marshwood is. That's what we've been hearing about them. I expect to see them come straight at us for a while and try to pound on our line a little bit. On the other hand, we talked earlier about it, the diversity of South Portland could play a big part in today's game, especially where we've got a fairly dry field and decent weather. How do you think, Field Moves?
Same thing, man. Ditto. It's hard to believe that here we are in November, one dance away from the big dance.
Yep.
And, man, the tour-days, I mean, you think back in August, it was hot and sweaty, kids are at the beach, all that kind of thing, and we're down here, working for one goal, and that is to get here to this game, to go one more step and to win the state championship once again. And I agree with everything that you said, Mike. Obviously, South Portland very talented at all positions, and of course Marshwood is too. But I think it's going to come down to, we could probably sit here for hours and speculate and all that kind of thing as to what we think may happen. But I think it's going to come down to what you just said, and that is the diversity of South Portland at all the skilled positions. I think we'll have the edge in that, and we're going to come out on top.
We do have a little time here beforehand. This is a little different than usual. We usually jump right into the game, but be able to talk a little bit about some things, talk about Marshwood a little bit. Scott Orlando is the quarterback from Marshwood. He was out for a couple games. He's back. Orlando is an option quarterback, an excellent option quarterback, and I think that could play a factor today.
Well, I'll tell you what, so one of the things that South Portland doesn't do much is run an option where the quarterback has an equal opportunity to run. That's because we have a passing quarterback, and he likes to sit back there in the pocket or maybe roll out. But you're right, Orlando will play a big part in today's game because that's three backs we're going to have to keep an eye on out there.
That's right, they've got an extra running, but they got four running backs versus what you just said. Jason's more of a drop-back passer, doesn't scramble a whole lot, but that could be a factor, but we'll see.
And big factor in Orlando, I think, to stop his option, I think Ed Buck and Artie Ganley will be instrumental, and I think they've both played well against the option. They saw it a little bit in the last couple games, and they did a great job. Ganley's coming up as a great end, and of course Ed Buck is doing it phenomenal as usual.
Well, I'll tell you, Ed Buck is a hungry senior, is out there, and he is just playing one whale of a football season this year, as we knew he would. He had injuries early last year, kind of kept him out of the starting lineups a little bit, and this year he's come on like gangbusters, and Bob Ganley has learned his craft. He's a junior, and he's beginning to find out what the game's all about down there.
Right. When we played Portland a couple weeks ago in the playoffs, when we really saw the Biddeford offense, and of course they ran the option and they mixed it up, and we didn't have any chance to prepare against that except for going in at halftime and making some adjustments, and came out and took care of that. Talking to Chris Salamone yesterday, and he said that obviously they've been watching a lot of films, and if anything, John Wolfgram is one of the best students of the game of football that I've ever met,
right.
And you can just bet. You can just bet that they're well prepared for whatever Marshwood has, whether it be the shotgun or option or whatever. We're going to be ready for this football team today.
Speaking of Chris Salamone didn't get a lot of playing time last week, and basically this week you're going to have a better opportunity. I know a lot of fans had sour taste in their mouth because Salamone didn't hit the field much last week, but I think as a team sport, I think Coach Wolfgram knows what was best for last week. So it's not the type of running style, I would believe.
Well, I think Chris probably felt the same way, Brett, but he's also part of this team, and I think he knew he wanted to win, and he didn't like not getting in the game, but I think he sure liked the result.
And Marshwood is coming out with their full force here.
Man, this looks like Braveheart, all of them coming across like that.
I hope they don't moon us.
I hope they don't moon us. Oh, man. A little bit of a mind game, a little bit of intimidation here, but the game is played on the field. So.
I think you're right. And South Portland looks like they're ready. They haven't been a hyped-up team this year. I've talked to a lot of the kids. They've been more subdued, and they know that just get the job done and do the work, and just lift, just practice, just go out there and play football and have a good time.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you feel this team, Brett, too, and like you said, you've done a lot of interviews with them. I think they reflect your dad's influence, too. They are a more calm team, kind of a quiet confidence, where they know what they can do out there, and they don't get excited, they don't get down, they don't get real high, they just go out there and they're workmanlike.
Yeah. Steve Soloway just said that very same thing, Mike. I was just talking to him down on the field, and he was up in the Bangor Lawrence game last year, and we were just reminiscing, you know, because he covered a lot of, you know, Gardner football games, and we were talking about that very same thing, that, you know, you kind of become like your mentor, you know, and that's what the South Portland Red Riot football team. They're not flashy, they don't, you know, they're not boastful and that kind of thing, but they come out and get that job done. And that's what John does. I mean, you talk to John, and you ask him, hey, well, how's your team going to look next year, or how they doing? And all he says is, we'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Exactly.
You know? Quiet confidence, you know. You got to watch out for that.
Exactly. So South Portland has elected to receive. Actually, I think they will be receiving on the right side. The wind is going from left to right on your screen. That wind is going to play a big factor today.
Sure.
I saw it's about 8 miles per hour going down across the field, but it looks like it's picking up, and it's getting chilly out there.
I didn't see who won the toss, but kind of if South Portland won the toss, kind of blew our theory. We thought he'd probably let them have the ball but take the win for the fourth quarter. So.
One of the things, too, in a game like this is you just got to come out. Obviously, you can feel the intensity here. Everybody's excited. I mean, I have butterflies myself, you know. But one of the things in a game like this is just come out and play your game. Don't make any drastic changes. Come out and just do the things that have gotten you here. Sometimes a team can play not to lose. You know, I think about Biddeford and Waterville a couple years ago. Waterville, at the end of that game, in that state championship game, they played not to lose. They were very conservative, and they didn't do the things that they did throughout the game, you know, to seal the victory. And of course, we all know that Biddeford came back. So in a game like this, it's not a matter of playing not to lose. It's a matter of doing everything that you've done, the basics, tackling, blocking, and just do what you do and do well, and I think the team will be fine today.
Marshwood is a big squad, folks. They are very big, and that's what their strengths are right now. They are a straight-ahead, shoot-'em-up football team. They don't have much flair other than Orlando running the option. They run off tackle with Wright, and of course, Wright is always right behind Holloway. Holloway is their big.
Mark Holloway, his date of birth is November 16th and the 17th.
Right.
I mean, he's that big.
Oh, geez.
He's a big boy.
He's 300 plus.
Yeah, you got it. I'll tell you what, the guy with one of the smaller numbers on the field, number 15, look how big that young man is.
Yeah.
You know what, I've seen a lot of John Wolfgram football teams over the years, and I don't ever remember us being that much, bigger than the opposing team. I think we've always been a smaller team, but he just stresses, you know, becoming a technician at your position and doing it the best you can, and I think we'll see that again today.
And here they are, the two men that will probably have to contain Orlando today, Ganley and Ed Buck. And Mike McLeod, somebody else that's going to have a huge game today.
Yep. Mike's come on all year long, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's developed into a great lineman for us, and with Rich Rio out there, they're going to have to everybody step up.
Brock Mooney showing he can still hold his own. He's going to be playing nose guard again. McLaughlin coming in to help him out, slow support.
Now, Brock, not a real big guy, but he's a rugged guy, and he does a nice job inside as he's had to step in for Rich Rio and has done a real good job.
Kierstead obviously playing one of the best defensive positions in probably the state, and still only a junior.
Yeah, I know. Bobby back next year. Yeah.
It's exciting to have him back. You know, a thing that no team has done this year, and that has been able to come against the South Portland defense to sustain a drive. They've given up a few big plays. I mean, the touchdowns that they've given up have, you know, been big pass plays or something, but no one has really come in, taken the ball from their own 20 and driven it down the field against this defense, and I'll be interested to see if Marshwood can do that.
They have 8 shutouts in the season.
So there you go.
8 plus. And as my father says, Uncle Andy's from Andy's Donuts. He sits in the end zone and tries to blow the ball the other way so he can sell those donuts.
Yeah, I guess the last game they ended up getting their jelly donuts. What are they going to get this week? Crullers or what?
They're looking at whole pies maybe this time. Going to have a little moment now for the national anthem, and it's going to be played by the band.
even the national anthem is exciting in this kind of atmosphere, isn't it?
They were ready to play some football, though. Riots will be receiving something we usually don't see. They've had a little, you know.
I think we want to take advantage as many times we can get our hands on the football today.
I'm sure. And the first play, who wants to predict it? Quick.
I'm going to go with, well, I don't know. Let's see who's
Lawson
out
off
there
tackle,
fair.
maybe?
That's a good guess.
We've got the win behind us. I'm going to go way out on a limb and say it'll be a pass. But we know better.
We have, oh, geez. There's absolutely no chance of the first one being a pass. I would put my whole broadcasting career, short that it has been, on that. It won't be a pass.
Yeah, your dad's messed us up a few times, though, Brett. You know what I mean? We've been pretty sure before.
Back deep, as always.
I'll go with Salamone off
Someone's
tackle.
going to get it. Back deep, Lawson is going to be in his own 7. Next to him on the left will be Matt Best. On his right will be Chris Salamone. In the middle, Kierstad's up around the 23.
Boy,
Ganley.
doesn't get any
Mims.
better than this, except for, of course, for next week. But today, man, the excitement, this is it, baby.
And kicking off, J.T. Sims will be kicking off for the Marshwood Hawks.
Right now, for these two teams, anyway, Moots, there is no next week. All
That's
they're
right,
thinking
that's
about
right,
is the
it's
guys on the other side of the ball right now.
And we're ready to play some football, folks.
These guys have been wanting to hit each other all week.
Kickoff,
We are
squib
at
kick. Mims touches it.
Get on it, boys.
Kierstad picks it up finally, tries to find some room. He's still up, finally brought down around the 27-yard line, and the Riots will take over 1st and 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, Robbie, pretty rugged runner himself, looking for a chance to get a little open ground there. Did manage to control the ball and tuck it away. So.
And here we go. Let's see. We'll give you a lineup of who's we got. Of course, Jason Cook is at the helm, as always. Demaro and Diorio are the left side, tackle and guard, respectively. And we're going to start out in the T with Lawson and Salamone, Thunder and Lightning. Cook gives it to Salamone on the right side. He's got a nice block up front by Mooney and gets about 3 yards.
Hey, I won the call, guys.
All right, you did.
I'll tell you what, Chris loving every second of that, because I'll tell you, he didn't get a chance much to handle the ball last week, but this is his kind of field, this kind of weather.
That's right. We got the field conditions for him today, so that's good too. You know, that obviously they're going to be keying on Tim a lot, so we can break him open a little bit by giving the ball to Chris.
Let's not forget Marshwood going up against a pretty good pass against Parisian, and Biddeford did a good job stopping him in his passing attack, although it was rainy last week.
T formation the other way. This time they give it the same one. Salamone. Demaro puts a nice block down. Salamone breaks out to the left. He's up at the 50. He's up to the 45. He's finally brought out of bounds at about the 44-yard line.
We needed that.
Look at Chris. I'm telling you, he's one of those racehorses that's been bridled too long.
That's right. He's been in the gate waiting for the bell to go off. That is so key to spring him open this quickly in the game.
As you can see, Biddeford, Marshwood here, not as quick of a reacting team as some we've played this year, and this could be a big key to get outside of them a little today.
I think Salamone is going to be a big-time factor today. Lawson, of course, can't bump and grind in there too much with the big crew that they have.
Well, they can if they can soften that up a little bit by hitting the outside a lot.
Same formation, up to the motion. They give it to Lawson up quick, and he's got plenty of room. He's breaking it. He's up to about the 30-yard line, trying to get outside. Up to the 20, up to the 50.
Touchdown!
Nobody touches him, and this is a touchdown.
It's exactly what we've been doing all year long.
I'll tell you, we've talked a lot about that big line of Marshwood, but you just see the offensive line of South Poland make holes for their big back, Tim Lawson, as he busts one for a TD.
That's right, the athleticism, man, that we were talking about earlier, that's definitely going to be the factor in opening up the holes, the 3 plays in the end zone. That's Red Riot football.
So Riots take strike hard and strike first here in the first 3 plays. That's a 40-yard run for Salamone for a touchdown.
Marshwood's still wondering what hit them over there.
Kierstad will try the extra point attempt. I didn't even get a chance to read the whole offense.
All right, we'll be back.
Sure.
We'll be back, Brett.
Josh Wolfgram snaps it. Kierstad boots it through in a whole minute. That took a whole minute to go big time. We're going to watch this
75
again.
yards.
Look off tackle to your left. Nothing there. A couple arm tackles over there, but
watch the stiff arm coming up right here.
Can't bring
Just
him down.
kept running.
That is a freight train right there, folks. You cannot stand in front of a freight train.
That just pumps the defense up too, knowing that, hey, we got a little bit of breathing room already. Let's go out and play our ball, be quick off the ball, and stuff the Hawks offensive first series. That'll be a good thing to see here.
Well, right off the bat, we've seen the diversity we talked about. We've got Salamone, 2 runs, one to the left side, one to the right side. Then Tim Lawson busted up the middle for 40 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, Marshwood's probably stunned a little right now, but I'll tell you, I don't think they're going to get too awful down yet.
11 minutes left to go in the first period. That's in Riots score, 7-0 right now.
It's good to see, too, that the field is in good shape. It's okay for Chris to cut back and forth on. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's what you're seeing right there. Salamone came out twice. They weren't expecting him. They were expecting Lawson.
Yeah, that's
came
right.
out with twice with Salamone, bumped it up to Lawson, and nothing but 6.
A lot of talk by this Marshwood club. They were waiting for a chance to tackle Tim Lawson. Well, they had about 5 or 6 of them just then. Weren't quite able to do it.
Touching a ball. That's pretty good bat percentage.
Deep.
Yeah.
In the middle from Marshwood. Ben Beck will be kicking off on the right side. It's like Whalen. And a low kick over to the left side, picked up by number 44 about the 20-yard line. Trying to find a hole, tripped up by Oliver, and they'll start off at about the 27-yard line.
Good job by Oliver.
Rick Oliver overran it just a little, but he got an arm out and got a hold of his foot, and that took him down.
So Marshwood will take over 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line.
There's a lot of anticipation, and at least on my part, of watching this Marshwood team run. We've heard about their size and their capabilities there. It'll be interesting to see how well they work today.
And here they go. Start out in straight I formation. Whalen, and they give it to Whalen. Nope, keeps it out. Bootleg out to the right. Orlando tries to find somebody. Blocked. Knocked down by Nate
we got
Davis.
a flag on the play, too.
And there is a flag. That
was a
like
great play by Nate.
That's about an illegal man downfield, I believe.
Well, I talked about a big guy, number 15. That turns out to be Andy Wright. I didn't look at his number earlier, but that's Andy Wright in backfield, and he is monstrous.
You know, Nate Davis has done that I don't know how many times this year. When it looks just like the receiver's going to come up with a catch, Nate's able to get his hand on the ball right at the last second. Great job by Nate Davis.
Well, you know, Biddeford ignored the passing attack of Marshwood last week early on, and that's how they stopped the run, by just charging that line with everybody. And I think Marshwood trying to send a little message here to South Poland early that they will put the ball up, and that ball was on target. Nate Davis got his hand there just in time.
Yeah, nice job by Nate Davis. It would have come back anyways, but we see Orlando trying to throw a little bit here.
You know, penalties has been a factor too, guys, throughout the whole playoffs here. You know, every game obviously being played right here, but penalties have been a factor, and you know, the first play from scrimmage, Marshwood getting a penalty. We'll keep, you know, that's like our 12th man on the field here.
Oh, I know. Orlando up over center. T formation split out both ways. They give it to Whalen, who is quickly by Ben Beck. Helped out by Kierstead. Nothing there.
Well, Whalen's there slashing back, and he's the one with the big yardage this year. Andy Wright is the boomer. And Whalen, I don't think they've come up against a team that is as quick as we are.
Yeah, that's right. You know, so I heard that just the opposite, you know, against us by saying, you know, the Riots haven't seen anything like the Hawks. Well, let's turn that thing around, too. You haven't seen, Marshwood hasn't seen anything either like this all year.
Exactly. I think the quickness of our ends and some of our safeties are going to really make it tell.
Split out both ways, I formation. Orlando gives it off to Wright, but he doesn't get anything.
And guess what? Timmy Lawson gets to handle Wright before Wright gets to handle Timmy Lawson, as he's in on the tackle along with Robbie Kierstead.
And that is going to bring up a 3rd down and about 15 for the Hawks.
This is where Orlando is the most dangerous, on a 3rd and long, and he's, you know, being an option quarterback. There's so many aspects of that position. It's a good first test right here against that. I'm going to believe we're going to see it.
Quickly, the backfield. Ben Beck is the rover. Oliver is the safety. Davis and Upton are the corners, and they'll be playing right now. T formation. Oliver takes a 3-step, goes deep. Davis stutter steps, caught. Nice catch there by number 28, and that's going to be our 1st down all the way down to the Riots' 40-yard line.
Nate was afraid to get turned around like happened last week, one game, and so he never looked back at the ball. He just tried to watch the receiver and stay with him. He was there, but a nice catch made.
That's okay. We've had, you know, that happens. We give up one of those every game, it seems,
right.
You know, a long ball, but we won't give up too many of those.
Well, exactly right, and we've had a lot of shutouts in this team, but that doesn't mean you don't meet a good team that will score some points. You've got to be willing to give up some ground every once in a while, because they are going to make big plays.
Start out double back. Twins out there. They give it up to shoot.
That was Whalen.
That was Whalen. He gets about a yard.
Again, South Portland's line, defensive line, really fired up to meet these big guys today. I think you're going to see them do a good job jamming the inside. The linebackers will play a key role today.
Speaking of defensive line, we got Art Ganley Ganley on the left side here. Next to him is McLeod. Then Mooney's in the middle, and McGowan's on the right, and then Ed Buck's the other end. 2nd down and 9. They give it up to, that's
Big fullback.
Right. Gets nothing. Pig pile.
Gang tackle.
Let me tell you what I like early on. South Pulling going right at the thighs.
They're swarming. The defense, if you notice the defensive line, obviously we get low anyways, but you have to, with an offensive line the size of Marshwood, you got to get low, and they're really down low, and at the snap of the ball, they're really digging in.
It's amazing. There's been they've had about 7 plays, and the only play that's done anything for them. Supposedly Marshwood is a power team, and the only thing that's done anything for them is a little flair. They got a double backfield again, 3rd down. Riots look like they're coming.
Yes, Tim Lawson.
Lawson doesn't give Orlando a chance to get the option going.
Lawson on a linebacker blitz there. They were smelling the pass play.
Thing of beauty by Tim Lawson.
Somebody missed their blocking assignment, and Timmy Lawson gets a nice little sack.
Orlando was just about ready to look to turn to throw the ball when Timmy was all over.
I'll be surprised if they are going to punt this.
4th down and 12.
That was a huge play.
They need to put South Poland back as deep as they can. I think they know that, and they'll take every opportunity, at least not to give us good field position.
Timmy Lawson and Oliver are back deep, standing on their own 10. Nice snap. Ooh, almost got it. Ed Buck. But Oliver picks it up, gets hit early. It's brought down at about the 15-yard line.
Well, he made himself a wall right there, and and a good tackle, too. So nice job just to hang on to the ball.
So the Riots coming back in quickly. I'll go over the line since last time I didn't get Josh Wolfgram is a center as usual. On his right is Mooney doing double time as defense and offense. Hansen's on the right tackle working well. He did that nice blocking in the last play that we saw. Split out is Davis. Nate Davis. Best is the wingback now. And the tight end is Benbeck. T formation, that's going to be flagged down on the play. 1st and 10. Looks like it's going to be against the Riots.
One of the few times we get a penalty. The defense, they did their job. They made a statement. They controlled the line of scrimmage on every running play, and all except for that one pass play.
Wind's starting to blow here a little bit, folks, too. It just blew the SP down over there.
SP just went down. So it's going to be 1st and 15 here. Riots pinned back pretty deep. They're on their own 11 right now.
Again, we've had some trouble with delay of game penalties and stuff like that. Last week I thought we did a good job. Jason Cook got back to the lineup very quickly with the plays.
Was that a delay?
I'm not sure.
No, it was not. It was offsides.
Offsides.
In the neutral zone. Best in motion. They give it to Salomon. No.
Lawson, oh my gosh.
Lawson, who breaks it again off the right tackle.
Cut it up, Timmy.
And he is just dragging the defensive player down to the 35-yard line.
I tell you what, Tim Lawson's a man with a mission today, boys.
I'll tell you what, I think he feels that they're going to really key on him today and that they don't expect him to get a lot of yardage because of that. Tim's already cranked up, 50-something yards right now?
Yeah, he has. 2 plays. He's up there. He is up there. They're at the 35-yard line. That's a 24-yard gain.
He's running as a man possessed today, and he's got one mind and one goal in mind, and that's to get back to the state game, and he's running with that intensity today.
I think we got an offensive line out there with a little mission on their own, too.
I agree with you. They're tired of hearing of the size of Marshwood and they're big and all that kind of. It's just a great block there.
No gain, and that's the first no gainer for the Red Riots.
Wasn't much of a hole that time. Chris picked the right time to turn up, but Marshwood covered it very well that time.
He does get about a yard on that, so we'll give him that one.
I'll tell you what, I'd love to see Jason Cook just catch Ganley in the flat real quick behind the linebackers. They would not expect that at this point.
Yeah, we don't throw much to our tight end. Well, Beck gets some passes.
I think you're going to see off tackle again off the right side if I need a prediction.
Well, the running game's working right now, Brett, so we know the tendencies.
Nope, two-step, quick. Going in the middle. Oh, intercepted on the 50-yard line. And Jason Cook is going to stop him, then brings it down finally at the 24-yard line. Not a well-thrown ball.
Jason Cook doing a nice job there. He was really the last guy that had a chance.
And the Riots give Marshwood a present right there. Marshwood will have 1st and 10 going in on the 24-yard line.
Ball was tipped around.
I'll tell you what, Jason that time was only looking at one receiver. He thought he was going to have him open. There was 2 purple shirts there. That's when you tuck it away and don't throw it. Maybe just run a little bit.
I think John was definitely testing the waters there, but I think we'll go back to the run, no doubt. But,
well, the defense will get tested now.
Big challenge here now.
I formation, 1st and 10. They give it off to, oh no, keeps it, goes around the end. He's looking for a spot. Orlando finds a hole. And finally, Kierstead brings him down, close to a first down, though.
Lives up to his billing as a pretty good running quarterback.
Yep.
That was some nice cuts he made there, and he's got some speed.
That's what's dangerous with an option quarterback, and he's got some excellent ability. But string the line out like he did and cut back. Gonna have to contain that.
Second down, and looks like they're going to give him second down in about a foot here, and they will measure it, looks like.
That's exactly how Marshwood got back in the game last week against Biddeford. You know, a couple interceptions.
And I think we will not see much of the pass game today. There's 6:03 left to go with this official timeout for measurement. Left to go in the first period. Riots are up 7-0, but Hawks are knocking at the door after that.
First down.
First down.
Well, again, the Riots not being a team to panic this year. Went down early behind Portland there, week 4 last. Portland scored an early touchdown. They didn't seem to get excited about that. I don't think they're giving them a position like this, they're going to get too overexcited.
Yep.
Marshwood definitely going to be a formidable opponent with Orlando with his running ability. I think we're probably going to key well on Whalen and Wright, but Orlando's going to play a big part here today.
Double back. Man split out to the left. They give it quickly to Whalen, who gets a little hole and picks up about 3.
Yeah, that was McGowan that first got a hold of his leg to slow him down, along with Robbie Kierstead and Timmy Lawson helping out to bring him down.
Second down and about 7.
Riots haven't been tested too many times in the red zone this year, and
well, we actually
had their first test today.
We've had enough teams down there, and we've made enough stops, haven't we?
Yeah,
we got
in
some
the red zone.
donuts.
There's not many down there.
That's right.
There hasn't been many, but this is a challenge right here.
Watch the pass on this play.
I formation. They give it to Whalen off the left side.
Wow.
Quickly. No gain.
That was a combination of McGowan, and he lost his footing, too.
Kierstead got that tackle.
Was it Kierstead?
Yeah, Kierstead laid a helmet on him at that time.
Actually, I think Whalen was just scared. I'm down.
Robbie was all set for the hit, and you're right. Whalen kind of lost his footing a little bit, but Robbie still let him have a good hit just to say,
it was a good hit.
Welcome to SP.
Third down at 7. Riots trying to hold off the Hawks here.
Won't be no field goal here either, folks. So we'll
Double
see what
back.
Two plays.
Orlando takes a 3-stepper. Gets by.
down, yes.
He is down.
What we
Timmy
needed.
Lawson blitzes and hurts
He lost his
Orlando
footing.
again.
Another big play here coming up.
Yeah, that's right. Timmy's going to get himself a sack there, but really it was his pressure they put on him that made Orlando try to squirm out quickly, and really he kind of slipped and fell.
Fourth down, and they could be denied. It looks like they are trying for a field goal.
Don't say it. Oh, they're going to do it.
They are.
They are.
This is high school, people. Fourth down. 15.
Watch
looks like
the fake.
25-yard
Orlando's
field goal
the-
here.
Orlando's the holder.
And it's down. It's up. Oh, it's a good kick.
Oh, it's going to be wide to the
It's
right.
going to be good.
It is good. Oh, I thought it missed.
Well, that was a hell of a boot.
I'll tell you what, give that kid credit. He did put a good kick behind that. And that was into the wind, folks.
Hey, we'll let them kick
No, that
field
was
goals
with the
all
wind.
day.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wind has shifted.
So the Riots get scored upon here with a field goal, though.
Yeah, what's
it's
up
going
with
to
that?
be 7-3.
What's a 7-3 scoring? What
I
is
have
that?
no idea.
What is that?
What's up with a field goal? Is that legal?
I think they just added that rule to high school that you can kick a field goal, I guess.
Matter of fact, I did think I saw Coach Wolfgram scratch his head right then.
That's like yeah.
Good for them, though. They did capitalize on it, as you would see college and pros. Of course, every opportunity you get to put points up, you take it, and that's just exactly what Marshwood did. So no donuts here today, but South Portland still with the lead at 7-3.
Yeah, Mike down Uncle Andy's Bakery is
He's
holding on to his wallet, pretty excited.
Well, I'm going to go down and have a donut now then. I know
but
they won't
still
all be gone.
That still was a great stand by the Riot defense.
Yes, it was.
Let's give the Riot defense some credit there as they were pushed deep into their own area and really come up big.
Sims is kicking again. He's the one that just kicked the field goal.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good leg. I'm
Yeah, the
impressed.
last time he had a terrible kick, though. I wonder where he's going now. Not a very good kick. He's a line drive
Let
kicker.
it go out.
And
out of
lets it go
bounds.
out of bounds. Oh, Best. Oh, they said Best touched it, and they're going to take it down at the 2-yard line.
Now, there's a big mistake by Matt that time, and I'm sure he wished he had had that hand back. I thought he tried to pull it back, but it looks like not in time.
So the Riots will have to take over deep
Yeah,
down in their end zone.
Well, this is one of the things that could hurt South Portland. We've had 2 mistakes now that have given first 3 points to Marshwood, and now an excellent opportunity for the Marshwood defense to get the ball back in good field position.
So Riots trying to find something here. They got 1st and 10 on their own 2-yard line.
And South Poland is going into the wind, that's right, and that could have a factor here as you won't see Jason Cook be able to really throw down the field much.
We'll see Tim Lawson a couple times, I think, back to back here.
T formation, they give it up to Lawson, who doesn't get anything, and
If anything, he loses.
he lost a yard there.
Well, we've got to have a few of those plays because we've seen a couple of quick traps work very well for Timmy as he scored the one touchdown and then the one big run over here in the last drive. And Marshwood's too good a team to let that happen too often.
South Poland finding himself in a place where they normally have not been.
Yeah, you're right. Fighting out of their own end zone, yeah.
I was talking with someone earlier, and I was just saying that the only way really for South Poland to be manhandled today is if they really just self-destruct themselves, and got a couple mistakes here early that could prove to be crucial.
Hawks shift quickly. They give it to Salomon off left side. He breaks a hole, and it's going to be close to a first down. He's up to the 12-yard line.
Room.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that Chris did give him some breathing room, but again, the front line doing a great job, and I'm watching Hallway down there, and who is it on that side is giving him everything he wants. Oh, it's Diorio.
Diorio off the left side.
Yeah,
That's
a beautiful job.
That's going to be
That was a huge run.
They're going to take a third down with no measurement.
Diorio just sealed Hallway off on that, and that's where Salamone got his yardage, right there right in front of Holloway.
Kierstead comes in for Salomone, and we're going to have the Thumper crew in here. You know, that's an interesting call with Coach Wolfgram, because you would expect Lawson to just try to get it out of there, but that was a good call.
Yeah, you definitely know they were keen on Tim too.
Tim Lawson's the tailback, and he breaks outside, plenty of room plus more, and he gets up to about the 15, 16-yard line.
Yeah, good tackle there by Scott Holton, or Timmy would have had another about 10, 15 yards before he met any of the Marshwood defenders.
So 1st and 10 for the Red Riots. They are out of the zone.
Well, I just let my breath go. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I'm a little.
I think everybody did. 1st and 10 on the 16-yard line.
I'll tell you, we're seeing a fired-up front line there for South Poland. The offensive line is doing a great job against this vaunted, large, huge
Yeah, they are controlling the
line.
line. They're definitely controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
Marshwood
which
seems
is
to be
key, obviously.
bouncing around, too, down there. And they're bouncing around trying to get in. They give it to Salomone off the right side. He's still up.
That's Lawson.
Excuse me, that's Lawson. You're right. He'll get about a yard on that.
Yeah, Tim on the trap. They read it well that time. And again, Coach Wolfgram staying away from Hallway's side as he goes to the right.
Beautiful spot. It gives him 3 yards.
Well, he was pushing pretty good there.
spot.
Yeah.
You can hear him. Hawks trying to stop Riots here from scoring again, obviously. Well, I know we're 80 yards away, but that's one play for South Poland.
Well, again, we're doing the feeling out process here in the first quarter as we're trying to find out what's going to work for us.
Riots give it off. Cook keeps it, rolls out to his right, looking, cross. Nice athleticism by Ben Beck.
Nice
He gets
catch
up,
by
catches
Beck.
the ball.
That was
First
a thing
and
of
10.
beauty.
Again, a tough throw by Jason Cook as he had to throw back against his body direction as he was rolling out to the left and threw back right, but a great catch by Ben Beck.
This is very interesting. Coach Wolfgram passing into the wind, first of all, and after the interception, back to Ben Beck.
Well, I like him showing confidence in
I
his
was just going to
quarterback
say
like
that. I was just going to say that's just showing some tremendous confidence in Jason Cook, and he needs that right now.
Ben Beck is split out to the right. I formation. They give it to Salomone. He finds a hole on the right side, gets about 3 or 4 yards. Actually, they pull up about 5 yards.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough run in there by Chris Salomone as he ran into 3 purple shirts and still gained about 2 yards on him.
You know, I mentioned earlier I was talking to Steve Soloway, and we were talking about John, and just when you think you can predict him, he becomes unpredictable, you know?
It's going to be 2nd down and about 4. That was, it's interesting now if you look. Beck is going to be splitting out. They are basically widening out the Hawks, trying to get a little room in the middle. I formation, they give it to Salomone off the left side. He gets about 2 yards.
I think they're trying to shock Marshwood just a little here. Marshwood thinking they're always going to come with Lawson when they come into the inside of that line. And Salomone, although he's basically our scat back and the outside guy, really will run tough inside for you.
Definitely mixing it up. Good play selection so far.
Here comes the bomb squad.
3rd and 1 at the 41.
Thumper squad's in, Kierstead and Lawson.
Definitely eating the clock up too here.
Yeah, we got 55 seconds left to go in the first quarter, folks. Riders are still up 7-3.
Well, this is an impressive drive by South Poland. They'd like to maintain this.
I formation, Lawson's up close as the tailback, and they pitch it out to Lawson, who gets a first down, and he's up over the 50-yard line.
You know what? I don't know if Tim was expecting. Was that supposed to be a pitch or a handoff?
I don't know. Anyways, he got it.
I think it was supposed to be a pitch. What they wanted was Timmy to get the ball in the backfield so he could really generate some momentum.
Yep.
figuring if he got hit on the line, he could at least push over for the first down.
Bust the hole. First and 10, Riots keep rolling.
I see Jim Crocker right down there, Channel 8 News. I was talking with him yesterday. He was picking Marshwood by a couple touchdowns.
Well, that's all right, and we got a long way to go yet.
T formation, Upton's in motion coming in. They give it to Lawson quickly, who stumbles through a hole and still gets 2 yards.
Well, we see what one of the advantages of when you run Timmy out of the fullback position, then the line has to make the hole for him in order to generate his speed. That time they were not able to make a clear hole, and he had to kind of move around a little bit and wasn't able to really get a good momentum up that time.
2nd and 8 at the 48.
Second down and about 9 on the 48-yard line.
We must have a time. Oh, that's a
and
quarter.
that is going to be the end of quarter 1. The Riots are up 7-3. Excuse me. 3 looks like a 0 to me.
It was a field goal too, Brett. What is that?
So it's going to be a 2nd down and 9. Riots, take a look at what's going on here.
Well, we expected to see a good game today. Right now we're seeing a fired-up Riot team. I think they're playing with a lot more emotion than we've seen. It looks like they're very determined out there. That front line is coming off the ball very hard. And Marshwood, I think, is taken aback by it.
I think you're absolutely right. I think Marshwood expected to be able to manhandle the Riots' offensive line a little easier than they are. But, they're grasping for straws right now. I think the coaches are scratching their heads and say, okay, how do we stop these guys?
I'm watching assistant coach Rich Rio down there as he's back and forth helping the coaches out, pushing people out of his way as he's trying to get whatever they need out there to help the players.
Looks like DeMauro and Lawson both have bleeding right now, and they're just trying to get the blood cleaned up.
Well, Brett, you've played this time of year before, and you know how abrasive the ground can be this time of year when it's cold and that granular dirt and the grass underneath it. It really will tear you up a bit.
Yes, it will. It gets pretty dirty down there, I guess you'd say.
This is John Madden football, the mud, the cold, the blood. I mean, sod in the face mask.
I'm surprised we don't have AstroTurf.
Dirt in the teeth and all that kind. And then you don't even shower until next week.
Right, exactly. Well, some of these guys are doing records with their shirts and jocks, so you can go the longest without washing it.
Which is why we're really pushing Marshwood off the line real well, right?
Is that what
you're saying?
Exactly.
Stench.
Right, 2nd down and about 8. They're on their own 48-yard line. Excuse me, Marshwood's 48-yard line. We got a 3-back. Upton shifts out to the right with Davis. They give it to Salamone off the end. Meets number 44 and gets about a yard.
Yeah, Chris, nice job there. There was a good size hole, but Marshwood doing a nice job as they let the lead block go by and then close the hole right after.
We've got 2 plays to get 5 here.
It's important.
I bet we have 1 play to get 5 here. I mean, this is only 3-play territory.
I agree. I'll go back to being more conservative and not say we're going to go 2 plays here. I think
if we get close to the 40 here, guys.
Well,
we'll see.
I'll change my mind if we're down there within an inch.
Start out in 3-back. Upton and Salamone shift into the T formation. Looks like they're coming. Cook keeps it. Plenty of time. Lofts it up, and it's going to be intercepted.
Again, a pass that should not have been thrown, as Davis was well covered by Marshwood.
And that's Cook's 2nd interception of the day.
Okay, that's like a punt, guys. Just look at that as a punt.
A punt on 3rd down.
Exactly. We're getting them down there, not giving them real good field position, but also this helps Marshwood develop a little confidence and a little gives them a little breathing.
Yeah, it gives their defense a break, no doubt.
That's right. You've got to be under control there. Matter of fact, the one he threw to Beck was behind him a little bit, so Jason, I think, struggling just a little bit right now.
Marshwood comes out in the eye. Orlando gives it up the chute to Wright, who is got about 6 yards.
Wright is a bruiser. I'm telling you, the kid is 250 pounds, and he's a big boy. South Poland having all they can to bring him down.
That's really that's the first run he's really had. He's been tripped up most of the time at the line of scrimmage.
Gets 7 out of that one.
Yeah, really. They gave him a pretty good spot there, Brett.
Comparing, there's nothing. They're not doing anything
That's what they did to Bitterford last week, is just plain wore him out with the size of Wright. But
Orlando gives it to Wright. No, this time he gives it to Whalen, who breaks a hole, and he's still up down at the 45-yard line. Finally brought it out of bounds.
That time I saw a few South Poland tacklers trying to take and make a shoulder tackle rather than grab a hold of the runner. And they need to get back to the basics, stay with the good fundamentals out there.
And Riots need to nip this in the bud really quick.
Again, this team not being one that really panics early on. We've talked about that many a time. South Poland teams know how to just stay calm and let a team have a little yardage and then tighten it up as it goes on.
1st and 10 for the Hawks. T formation. They give it a Wright. No, they give it.
The big fullback.
Yeah, Wright has got it, and he's got about 6 yards.
That time, a couple people did try to go low, but the first couple people that hit him up high. This guy runs straight up. You've got to just hit him at the legs, and he won't go far.
2nd down and about 4. Mooney comes out.
So that makes
Laughlin comes in. Mooney might be a
if
little
he
tired.
can pick up, what he's done is he's picked up 5 and 6 or 7 yards.
Yep.
It gives at 2nd down with 4. That's
then
you get a much more of a play selection to choose from at that point.
2nd down and 4. Orlando tries a long count. They give him hit early, but Whalen gets through, and it's going to be close to the 1st down.
That time you saw Mike McLeod did exactly what he should. He thought if that was going to be Andy Wright grabbing the ball, the first thing he did was get his legs.
Orlando's doing a good job of faking that fullback dive. I mean, he actually is putting the ball right into his midsection, pulling it back out.
Yeah, for a brief second, I actually thought he had given it to Wright. Did a nice job.
3rd down and 1. Wright's going to try to stop him here. McLaughlin is the nose guard right now, and for Mooney. I formation. They give it up quickly to Wright, who pushes his way through and gets about 4 yards.
Again, nice tackle there. Mike McLeod hits him low, but Wright, with that big size of his, was able to drag him down the field enough for the 1st down.
So Wright's defense seeing some real movement here with the Hawks.
Well, Marshwood's got smart. They've gone back to their strength, and they're challenging the Riot team to stop it.
Exactly. That's exactly what is happening. They're giving. You watch Wright, the fullback's going to get the ball again on 1st down, and their size is definitely a factor right now.
Double back. Orlando gives it to Whalen, who is hit quickly. Fumble, and they're going to call it down, actually.
Yeah, they're calling it down.
It's a good call there, Brett. He was down. He had hit the ground when he dropped the ball. South Poland fans not in agreement, of course, but I had the binoculars right on it, and he did hit the ground before he dropped the ball.
2nd down and 9.
Boy, that was close. I'd like to see that one again.
I'd like to have it.
That could have been huge for the Riots.
South Poland really needing a big play like that in order to stop this Marshwood team, who is trying to just chug the ball down the field. And, this is going to have a big effect later in the game if they continue to give yardage to Marshwood.
8:27 left to go in the half. Double back. Orlando takes a 3, looking, going deep.
Beautiful
Davis
ball.
has spotted it up and knocks it down. Almost
Good
caught
play by Dan. That's a beautiful ball by Orlando.
That time, Nate Davis, learning from that one pass he let up, looked around for the ball as soon as he saw the receiver putting his hands up.
See, the difference in this series right here is where they didn't gain any yardage on 1st down, and then they fumbled, and now we've got a 3rd and 9. And the first couple series, they were getting 6 and 7 yards on 1st down, which was allowing them to come up with a 1st down.
And they're going to need 9 yards this time.
Well, I'm watching as South Poland is adjusting too. We watch them as they give up a couple of yardage, and all of a sudden they start hitting low and closing the holes quicker on the line.
This is where Orlando's dangerous.
Double back. Orlando up over center. He gives it to Whalen off the right side.
No,
I'm sorry. That's a fumble. No, they're going to call that down too. Jeez, I think you're right. Orlando is doing an excellent job. I've missed the play like 3 times already.
Yes, I have. You're right. He's got very quick hands. He does a nice job with the fake.
And he
can breathe a little bit more now. But again, the Riots do what they have to do. That fumble takes away one down, and now a couple misdirection plays, pass play, good defense, string it out. Now we get the ball back.
Marshwood punting. Lawson and Oliver back deep. Unusual kick, and they leave it, let it roll, and it rolls down about the 14-yard line. Riots will take over 1st and 10 on their own 14.
Well, after that touch, they pushed them all the way back to the 2 last time. This time they elect, without being able to handle it clean, just to let it roll and stay the heck away from it.
Yes, sir.
The Riots are making some hits out there. They're jarring the ball loose out there.
Ed Buck lost his footing on that, but the kicker, if you noticed, had a hard time really getting the ball straightened around for the kick. And had not fallen down, he probably could have blocked that one.
And McLaughlin, McGowan, and McLeod come out a little winded. And McLeod looks the most winded of all of them.
Well, there's definitely a battle today here.
Well, he's got a big team out there to go up against, and Hallway, I think, is coming right at him most of the time.
1st and 10, team formation to get around the end of Salamone. Nice block by Mooney. Oh, Salamone tripped up, but he had some room.
Yeah, he did have a little room, but some submarining there by the Marshwood team, able to get his hand out and trips Chris up.
Loss of 1.
Number 15, David Bune.
2nd and 11 at the 13.
We need to sustain a drive here and punch one in. What happens is Marshwood in the second half, they're just so big, they just wear teams down.
Well, this is right. I think we need to score some more touchdowns, and then that defense is going to have to suck it up. And I think this is a day when Coach Wolfgram's reserve is going to play a big part. He's going to have to, I think, help that front line out of our defense.
To your right, they give it off to Lawson off the left side tackle, who is hit quickly, and he won't have anything.
Well, this time they ran right at Hallway, and Hallway got his hands on Timmy, and there's a mismatch there.
Just a little bit.
Third down, he gains about 1 on that. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Interesting, it's obviously a passing situation, but 2 interceptions don't fare well.
Well, again, I like Jason Cook passing-wise when he'll set up in a pocket a little bit. When he sets his feet and throws, he's as accurate a passer as I've seen in the league. When he rolls out, then sometimes bad things happen, although we've seen some great passes out of the rollout come through this year.
Watch out for Nate Davis on a slant pass right here. I think the defender's playing him inside. Cook keeps it going deep for Best. He throws it up for Best, and Best gets under it. And
Big
nobody's
play,
going to
big
catch
play,
it.
big play. That's a big play. That's the best play, baby. Just when you think you're down, slow us down, the Riots can strike fast.
And I'll tell you what, Matt Best should run over and shake the official's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Who was running interference for him.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Big play.
South Poland looks like they're about ready to have to punt the ball away. 4th and long, deep in their territory, and instead come up with a big 3rd down pass for a touchdown to Matt Best.
That was right on the money. He couldn't have thrown that any more perfect than what he did.
Actually, it was kind of an ugly duck.
It was ugly, you're right.
It was.
It hit him right on the hands, though.
Yeah, in terms of hitting the hands, that was perfect. We don't care what it looks like.
Yeah. But it was in the right
6
spot.
points.
And I think you got to put a lot of that on Matt Best's speed. He was able to get under that ball, I think.
Made the catch. That was a
One of the
thing
areas
beauty.
I think we can beat this Marshwood team, you're right, is speed. If we can get outside them a little bit, you can see we can outrun them, I think.
Kicks up, and that's through. Riots are up 14-0.
That was a beauty.
John
See that
Newland
again?
was number 8. If you watch here, he gets a nice block from the official. Oh, Matt Best just rolls out to your left a little bit if you'll look. Cook just throws it up for him, and there you go. And the official gives a nice little block there. And Newland was not happy on that one.
Well, not only that, it broke his stride, but you know something? You never quit. You know the official has his right to the part of the field, and you saw him actually just slow up afterwards, and he didn't even give chase.
Jason Cook does well too, throwing on the back, coming to the backside, you know, away from the flow.
Well, let me tell you what happened there, too. The ball got out of his hand and looked ugly, but it was on target. And why? Because that time he was able to stop, set his feet, and make a throw.
That was a huge, huge play.
Riot score with 6:02 left to go, and Marshwood, who seems to be moving the ball quite well. Riots are still dominating, though.
I think we have to understand that we need to score points early because we're going to see a tired defensive line as the game goes on.
That's right. We needed that, just as we said. You know, we need to get a quick score here because we know in the second half Marshwood's going to be tough. And
Yes, they will.
you know, they were up behind 13-0 last week against Biddeford, and you know, came out scored 4 touchdowns.
I see some reserves as the game goes on. I see some reserves having to come in, I think, and supplement that defensive line as the game goes on, and just to help them out and give them some rest.
Well, of course, Hansen can play a little tackle.
That's right.
And McLaughlin plays some nose guard.
That's right. So you've got some guys that can come
High
in there
kick,
and help out.
beautiful kick, down to the 5-yard line. Number 44 picks it up. Trying to find a hole. Gets sandwiched at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's Eddie Buck down there along with, well, everybody. Nate Mills,
That was
a whole bunch of them.
Kinch on the run.
It's a funny thing about momentum, boy, how quickly it can change. And now we got a fired up Red Riot defense here.
Jeremiah Libya, we've seen make some big hits in on the tackle also as he come flying down there and got a little on that.
I think very important right now, Riots have to stop Marshwood early. Can't get more than 1 or 2 first downs. If none, would be the best.
This is a tough team to bend a lot against because they're so big, they're going to weigh you down as the game goes on.
They give it quickly to
Whalen.
Whalen, who was brought down nicely by Kierstead, I think.
Well, again,
Kirsten.
we've seen Marshwood adjust from going to a team that was trying to outdo our athleticism to a team that now is just running straight at us. And they've had some success at it, but there's our quickness is going to help us some.
That was a great play by Kirsten. Just manhandled him. Looked like he was roping and tying him there.
Well, the big thing to get used to, I guess, is going to be Orlando. He does a great job with the ball
Yes, he
down
does.
there.
2nd down and 9, and I'm sure we'll see something from him now. I formation. They give it to Wright, who gets about 4 yards.
Yeah,
I say that with hesitance because I can never tell anymore. They run off to the right tackle and you can't see where the ball is.
You're right. We're being shielded by everything. They are big, and you can never see it. Once the ball goes in at Wright's hands, you can't see it.
5 minutes left to go in the first half. They're down in 7. Wright's doing well here to stop the run.
This is where Orlando's dangerous.
Whalen in right in the back. Orlando up over center. Orlando takes a 2-step, looks, quick pass, caught. They're going to give him, that's going to be close to the first down.
That's a great catch.
A matter of a spot there, that's all. Looked like to me like he's got it, but let's see with the ball.
That was a great catch, no doubt.
And I think they will measure it.
I'll tell you, Orlando were impressing me greatly, and I see why he's so highly touted down there in Marshwood. They went 6 straight when he returned for wins. They were 3-2 without him.
And they will measure the ball here.
I'm going to say
It was close. It was close.
They
and
got
that's
it.
a first down.
I was going to say, if they didn't give him a first down, it would have to be a bad spot because it looked to me like he caught it, did a real good job and caught it just at the line.
So it's a first down and 10 from Marshwood. They continue to keep rolling here.
Well, again, Marshwood isn't here because they're a bad team. And like I said, they've been on a roll as they won their last 6 games in a row and have started beating some good teams, one of them being Biddeford last week.
Hanscom's out onto the right. They got somebody in the left here. And that's going to look like a screen pass. Oh, Bobby Ganley makes Orlando just pay for that. I think, everybody read that.
Everybody.
Bobby, I'll tell you, he was moving his hand around there. It's cold, and that ball hit him hard in the hand.
I think it looked like McGowan, which usually there's one lineman that's, my father usually picks like one of the smarter linemen, one of the more heads-up linemen that will stay back. And I think right there,
that was a great play by
McGowan
Ganley.
was down there.
Man, we all know it was a screen up here. He gave it away so quickly.
I formation. They give it to Whalen this time, and he gets about a yard.
He did a nice job to pick that one up. I watched it, and I still thought Wright almost had the ball. He's got good hands down there, very good hands.
It's gonna be bring up a 3rd down and 9.
He's so small too, Orlando. It's easy for him to hide in behind.
Well, do you see
Makes
where
it a
some of the
little more
success,
deceptive.
South Poland's having is? Looks like every time Wright and Whalen come to the line, they're just tackling him rather than blocking him.
Yeah, there you go. Tackle everything. Everything
That's
that
right.
moves. Any one of those backs, tackle him.
3rd down and 9. Orlando option. Oh, there's a fumble.
Oh,
and the Riots are going to have that ball this time.
Oh man, that's like you read about it right there.
Big hit looked like by Bobby Ganley, and then it was Sam McGowan that fell on the ball.
Ganley doesn't even go for the feather on that one. That was huge.
Do you think they worked on that option this week, defending against that?
I'm sure they did. And it looked like they're crashing the option. I think
that was a big hit.
Coach Wolfram has watched the tapes and has seen what Marshwood can do.
That was a huge hit, man.
Well, when they come straight at us, we're having a hard time because of the size of the line. But anything they do a little to the left or right, that's where our quickness has got to help us out.
Jeez, he hit him like a bag of hammers there.
First
we need
and
to
10
score here.
On the 27-yard line. Give it to Lawson off the right side, who's hit behind the line. He's still up, though.
Boy.
And he gets about 4 yards on
Fumbled,
that.
but he was down.
What are they going to call this time?
I'll tell you what, the ground is causing a lot of fumbles today because so it must be hard out there. We've already seen it's raking the guys up a little bit if they come over and got some bandages, but that's about the 4th time we've seen people drop the ball when they hit the ground.
2nd down.
2nd and 7 at 24.
So South Poland 3:10 left to go in the first half, and South Poland leading 14-3, and on the drive now.
Davis is out to the left. T formation. They give it to Lawson on the left side.
Not much there.
He pushes, though, and he gets about a yard on that.
We're starting to see the size of that defensive line for Marshwood starting to stretch things out a little bit. They're standing up the blockers for South Poland just a little bit and stretching things out a little bit.
This game is moving along quickly. I'm sure it's. I know it's late in the season, but it seems like a very trying game.
Don't we expect that, though? I think both these teams are running teams, and I think we kind of expected that the clock probably would get down quick. And a lot of excitement so far in this game.
Tremendous excitement.
Clicking down below 2.5 minutes here. 3rd down and about 6.
Could be a pass play, but we're in 2-play territory here for Coach Wolfgram.
Upton shifts in the wing formation, and Jason Cook keeps it looking. Dumps it off to Lawson, but there's nothing there. He can't get it. Bad pass.
Yeah, needed to get that ball up to Timmy. Timmy was open that time, and I think we're seeing Jason Cook just a little bit hesitant because of the 2 interceptions.
It's going to bring a 4th down and 6. We'll see what happens here. They're on their own 21-yard line. Obviously not bad field position.
All we need is 6.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Oh.
Man,
it's getting to be a big 6 yards, though, isn't it, guys? Huh?
6 yards, and we got Matt Best is in there for Upton.
Well, here's where our speed doesn't help us. When you're this close, it's hard for a Matt Best and them to really outrun their defenders because they've got a limited space to run around in down there. But let's see if we can run a good pattern.
Single back Lawson. Cook's under center. Cook keeps it. Looking for somebody. Same pass play. Intercepted by number 7.
there's no one there, guys.
And knocked out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Terrible pass.
Yeah, Diorio knocked him out of bounds there.
He was open, too, in the flat.
But again, we're seeing Jason Cook not having one of his better games, and a lot of it he's thrown into coverage.
Way underthrown.
And there is a penalty marker down. It looks like there might be
late hit, I think. Yeah. Marshwood signaling on the sidelines it's going against us, so we'll find out. But again, Jason not having a good day. I saw him. He had his head laid back there, shaking it. He just realized he's just not seeing things the way he should down there. He's throwing right into coverage all day.
So Hawks make a big turnaround, and they're up to the 45-yard line of the Riots. Riots will have to hold on here for 2 minutes before halftime.
It's funny, I read the paper a little bit about the Biddeford game, and I know what kind of a passing attack Biddeford has, and that was where Marshwood made their biggest strides, is controlling the passing game. Although it was in the rain, I didn't give it a lot of credence, but they've got a good set of backs down there.
Yeah, Jason,
they're playing tight here. 2-step drop. Orlando goes deep. Upton's trying to get under it. Nobody's going to be there.
Now, nobody could run under it. They obviously don't have real big speed. They were trying to get that to Whalen, and it looked like Oliver was the only one that had a chance for it.
Actually, that's Hancom.
Yeah, it is. That's right. That's their top receiver.
He's got a little burst of speed on him.
Hawks going all out here in the last minute and a half.
Oh, I'm sure.
Put something up on the board. I'll be surprised if they get behind us here.
Well,
and
that's right.
That's an interesting call, because I figured that they could just go and
a lot of confidence, I think, in their running game. I think they can still pick up a first down if they have to.
Double back, and they give it to Wright, who's hit by Lawson, but still gets about 3 yards.
Wright doing some nice little fancy footstep work over there, a couple of bodies, but Timmy Lawson tackles him the only place you can. He wrapped his legs up, and Wright still, with that big frame of his, fell forward for a good 3-yard gain.
Clock clicking down. It's got 1:36 written on it. There's 3rd down and 7.
6 of the 42.
So very interesting game as we thought we'd see here today. South Poland with a 14-3 lead, but not a comfortable 14-3 lead at all.
Not with a team like Marshwood as big as they are.
Double back. They give it to Whalen, who is hit quickly, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Nobody fell for that one that time, as McLeod and Lawson and them all stayed home and made the tackle.
I think you're going to see a little razzle-dazzle in here.
Yep.
No, there's no down. 4th down here, you go for it, right? What have you got to lose?
Under a minute.
Just about under a minute, yep.
Although this is good territory. If South Poland can hold them here and get the ball back, this is a good shot for one of them big passes downfield. And maybe South Poland gets a chance to strike. So the defense has got to come up with the play here.
Interesting call. Finally, the Hawks will take a timeout with 45 seconds left to go.
I would expect so. I would think that the coach, Lajanus there, would want to make sure that his team is well aware of what he wants them to do here. And I'm sure Coach Wolfgram has got to make sure that defense stops this play.
Well, it's interesting because you won't want to give them too. You want to give yourself enough time, but you don't want. If this doesn't work, you don't want to give the Riots enough time to score.
That's exactly right.
That's right. With 45 seconds to go, if the Riots hit the ball here, yeah, you got a chance for good three or four good big pass plays, and you've already seen what some of the receivers the Riots can do as they get down behind you.
That's right. That would be good. That'd be a good thing to get one more attempt with 25, 30 seconds left on the clock.
Well, it's my estimation we're going to need all of that.
Well, geez, I don't know. Right now, Cook's 50% for interceptions right now. He's thrown 6. And
I'm more concerned right now, again, as I have been all year long with the Riots, in the big play. Marshwood coming up with the big play to score on us or something like that. Then I think our defense will hold up well, probably well into the 4th quarter. They're a strong bunch. They don't all have to play offense at the same time. So I think we'll do well up until that play. So right now they need to control the big play and not let Marshwood get on the board quickly.
That's right, because then you just then you're getting into a boxing match, just strength against strength. And we don't want to get into that. I agree with you. We need to definitely stop them right here, and go in with a touchdown, 11-point lead.
As the game gets on late, I want them desperate, not us.
And here we go, single back. Looks like they're coming left. Orlando rolls out to his left here, looking, he's going to run for himself, and it's going to be close to the first down. Depends on the spot.
Yeah, it looked to me like he fell just over the 35, and if that's the case, or if he's on the 35, he'll have a first down.
Yeah, first down.
First down, and it's going to be 38 seconds left to go.
Robbie Kirsten doing a nice job, but you see the linebackers are giving some space there, not wanting to give up the big play. And I think that's the important thing. I'll give up a first down any day. Just keep the big play. Keep them out of the end zone. Ryan Jackson just come in for Marshwood with the play.
First and 10, Riots. Hawks try to capitalize here. They're going to run it up the chute here with Orlando, and Orlando gets about 6 yards on that. But
interesting
play. Call a timeout.
Interesting play.
I would say so, but they've got some timeouts to burn, so they're just trying to get as close as they can to that end zone, and then they're going to look to go into the end zone, I think, with a pass.
They get 5 yards. They've been most effective by getting 5 and 6 yards on their.
Well, at 19 seconds,
play.
At 19 seconds, though, now they need a big play is what they're looking for, and South Poland wants to prevent that, of course. But you're right. When they come out in the second half, Mooch, that's what we got to watch out for.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, and I'm sure John is very well aware of that, what they did last
Yes,
week. But he'll have them prepared. He'll have them prepared for 2 more quarters of football here.
Well, both these teams, I imagine, have got their full coaching staffs here on the field today, whereas Lawrence already played last night. No scouting need to be done. So they've got every one of the coaches they have on their staff here to help them out and see what the tendencies are, try to help them figure what needs to be done.
And interesting, we might actually have a good second half today.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had complaint about that, haven't we, Brett? Those long second halves where South Poland is just well in control of the game. I think Marshwood is going to give us a very interesting game in the second half just because of their straight power.
Yeah, that's right. Marshwood, getting the ball first in the second half. The defense will have to come out and make a stand, make a statement early, get the ball back to the offense with good field position. But meantime, we need to get through these 19 seconds.
2nd and 4, single back who is right.
Pass play coming out.
Orlando's going off to rolling to his right, looking. It's going deep, way back. Oliver. Nobody comes up with it. And geez, Oliver almost had that, but Upton knocked it away from him.
Yeah, very dangerous right there because any kind of a tip-up could end up falling in Marshwood's hands. You've got to knock it down and hard or catch it. By the way, Bobby Ganley, I just watched him hit right and knock right flat on his back. His right's not a good blocker.
Is that right?
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
3rd down and 6, and we got 13 seconds left. Timeout, Marshwood. Used up their last timeout.
Well, it's interesting to watch some of our big players. Bobby Ganley is a good-sized young man, and he's 6'2", probably goes close to 200 pounds, 180, 190 pounds, and he's have to assert himself out there. His team needs him, and these are the kind of games. Ed Buck, another one, real strong, very quick. Those guys are going to have a lot to do with today's defense playing well.
Run down some quick numbers for you so far. Timmy Lawson has 88 yards with 10 carries. Salamoni's got 50 with 8 carries. Interesting here. Cook's got 100 yards with 66 passes, but again, 3 of those were interceptions, which have hurt South Portland, I believe. Of course, they've resulted in 1 score, which is a 3-point field goal, but still, the Hawks have been able to push the ball around a little bit.
Well, I think where they've hurt us is that we feel that Jason Cook has to have a good game today in order for the offense to maintain some good, solid plays. And we've seen him throw a nice touchdown pass and all, but those 3 interceptions hurt his confidence in his passing game.
Twins out to the right. Right is going to be a single back. Whalen's in the wing. Orlando looks.
There's the blitz.
Nothing there, and Lawson brings it down on the own 40.
Great job. That's
Lawson
a huge play.
3 sacks for Lawson, and that is going to be all she wrote for the Marshwood Hawks.
Timmy started to do a little celebrating over the body and then thought different of it as he just kind of said, okay, I won't do it in your face this time. It's too early.
All right, so
far from over.
That is halftime, folks. Score 14-3, Red Riots. We're going to come back for a pretty good second half of football, I believe. We'll hope to see you there. Welcome back. Second half, Riot football. Some quick numbers for you as the Riots come out and Marshwood comes out to get fired up. Of course, Cook had 6 passes for 100 yards, but still 3 interceptions. That's big. That's huge. Salamone had 8 runs for 50 yards. Timmy Lawson had 88 yards with 10 runs. On the other side of the field, look at me, I'm even getting the other team. Wright, I'm looking at, he had 25 yards. I know. Wright, he had 25 yards with 7 carries, and Whalen has 10 carries, and they only got 25 yards. Orlando has got 14 yards running with 5 carries, but the big thing is he's 1 for 5 in passing, which was a 28-yard pass play. But
there's really only 1 pass completed. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, a very workmanlike job by Marshwood. Not a lot of yards for either one of the runners, but they have marched it up and down the field a little bit. But it's been the turnovers by South Poland that really have given them their field position and some of their bigger advantages.
That's right. Apart from those interceptions, it really hasn't. Marshwood hasn't had much field position, although they did have one particular drive where they probably drove the ball 30, 40 yards, and no team really has done that successfully against South Portland this year.
And Riots will be kicking off with the wind. This is going to be a big factor. They're going to have the wind behind them in the fourth quarter. Wind in front of them in the fourth quarter. Right now, they'll have to capitalize with the wind behind them.
Yeah, I agree.
Marshwood's got to score twice to take the lead, so that's a good thing. But
Ben Beck, beautiful kick. Wow. That's going to bring him down to the 6-yard line. Number 44 takes a stutter step. Gets brought down quickly by Nate Mills, and that's going to be on their own 20.
I'll tell you what, Nate Mills and Rick Oliver down there. Rick Oliver with another big hit of the day, and Robbie Kirsten coming in just to add his 2 cents worth.
We just need to keep up doing what we've done on the line of scrimmage, and that's get the penetration defensively. You know, Marshwood, they're a second-half ball club, and you know that they've sounded that in their locker room, and we probably heard it in ours too. But you know, for one of these football teams, these are the last 2 quarters of the year.
Red Riots, Marshwood taking over 1st and 10. They give it to Wright quickly, and he gets about 3.
And that's what they did last week, too, in the second half against Biddeford, is just get the ball to Wright, pound that. You know that they've got that mindset right now, but this is where we really need to dig in.
I remember that, too, that as we talked about that, they did have one fairly long drive, but other than that, all of their touchdowns came on big defensive plays, basically against the pass.
Right.
So South Poland needs to stay under control when they're on offense.
2 back. 2nd down and 7. Orlando gives it up again to Wright, who gets about a yard.
Yeah, well, McGowan and Brock Mooney right in there giving nothing, along with Mike McLeod. All 3 of them had right a hold of his legs, and that's the way to bring him down.
Yep,
so nothing different here.
That's what you said, Mike. Tackle ankles. Remember, those guys are big, but let's just tackle ankles at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I've watched South Poland, and I will say that our guys have done a pretty good job, as opposed to Marshwood, who's gone after Timmy a few times. They think just because they're big, they can grab him by the shoulders and pull him down, and they found different. Our guys are doing a good job.
Another big play already.
3rd down and 6 already. Orlando under center. Tries to draw him off, fumble, and he gets brought down really quick.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we need already.
Robbie Kirsten, I think, was on a blitz that time anyway, and he almost ran by him when he saw he was struggling. He dove back and tackled him around the legs.
And there was a fumble on that, so that helped out a little bit. It's going to bring up 4th down in a punting
Give
situation.
us a good field position here, first series. Real crucial.
Well, I'll tell you what, for a real team here in Marshwood, I'm impressed. They've shown us a lot, and they need to maintain their cool. But South Poland, I think, needs a score here in this 3rd quarter.
I agree.
Early. Good snap. Ugly kick. Oh, and Oliver, daring catches it on the 49-yard line. Riots will be going in.
Good hands by Oliver.
Yeah, well, Oliver has got to concentrate on that. That's where Timmy Lawson needs to come over and holler at Upton, who was running right into Oliver as he was trying to make the catch, and holler at Upton to back off.
2 minutes off the clock already in the second half.
I can see now you got McLeod, McGowan immediately when they come being sent right over to the bench. Sit down, relax, boys. You got some big boys to go out there and fool with.
Need to sustain a drive.
10. Big drive here. Right, it's usually weak on second half drives. They give it to Lawson quickly, off tackle, plenty of room, 1st down. Plows over number 38, and that's going to be a 15-yard gain.
And guess who that was that could not bring Timmy Lawson down? That was the 300-pound hallway who was grabbing and grasping, trying to get Timmy around the shoulders, and Timmy just says, no, you can't do it that way, fella.
Plus he had him backpedaling, too. It looked like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers there for a second.
Great off-tackle play.
Well, I'll tell you, the off-tackle play, well, it worked well for us early in the game, and we kind of went away with it after a while. And then when we came back, Marshall was prepared for it. So, again, caught him off guard a little bit.
1st and 10 on the 34-yard line. I formation. Thunder and Lightning. They give it off to Lightning. Salamone off the right side, breaks outside.
Yeah, he's got some
Plenty of room. Nice block by Davis. He's down to the 10-yard line. Finally bumped out of bounds about the 6.
Excellent. This is exactly what we need to do. Couple big plays, punch in a touchdown early on. Take away the false hope of Marshwood.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Coach Wolfgram, if he's watching as I was, and I'm sure he was, this is a slow starting team, this Marshwood team, and we really went at them really quickly early in the first half, and that's how we scored 2 quick touchdowns. Once they settle in, they're very tough to push around.
Is that 2 offensive plays?
Yes.
2 plays.
Thumper squad is in now. Kierstead is now going to be the fullback, moving Timmy Lawson back to the tailback position.
You got 4 straight plays, I think, to get this in here, and don't forget, even though with 3 interceptions, Cook can throw that ball.
I formation. They give it to Lawson on the left side. Nice block by Kierstead.
Touchdown.
That's a big hole.
Give that one to Robbie Kierstead.
3 plays.
Beautiful block.
Open the second half the same way at the beginning of the game. 3 plays in the end zone.
Robbie Kierstead, who fought off 2 blocks, did a nice job, but there was another guy standing there in the end zone knocking people away, and that was Joe DiOrio doing a great job.
Brett could have scored on that.
Hey.
Okay, we're going to line up here for the extra point, and this was important for South Poland to score a touchdown.
Huge. That was huge, baby. I'm making my reservations already.
For next week?
We have ours. If we win this game, we have ours, Mooch, so we're all set.
Oh, man, I can breathe. I got to go see Mrs. Wolfgram. She's probably breathing a little easier right now.
Oh, yeah. Kierstead puts it up, and there's nothing wrong with that one.
We'll take it.
21-3, Red Riots score on a 3-drive series.
That was crucial. You know, last week Biddeford just died against this team, and we came out and did exactly what we've been doing in the very beginning of the games, maintaining the control of the line of scrimmage, 3 plays in the end zone. That really fires us up on both sides of the football.
Remember this offense.
Play.
This offense has got to help these kids out, and we're going to have a little instant replay here, I think. As
they just did.
Oh, they just did. How'd it work?
Man, if we'd have seen it,
it
we'd have loved
great.
it. We'll have to watch it. In fact, I'm watching it by the time you hear this. I'm watching it at home anyways.
Yeah, really. I'm sitting there watching the game anywho.
Oh, man.
Well, all right, a big touchdown there as we agreed that South Poland needed to come out in this 3rd quarter and get some points on the board. I want Marshwood to be desperate and not us, although I still have to say our secondary has got to be keeping these guys in front of them.
That's right. Yeah, this is definitely going to take we're going to see Orlando scrambling a lot, throwing the ball, mixing it up. They're going to have to, because they need 3 touchdowns to get back into this.
And he's good at it.
a very big factor right now is I think that we're going to see not much razzle-dazzle from Coach Wolfgram. We're going to see a lot of straight up the shoot runs, no passing, keep the ball.
Yeah.
Snugly,
That's right.
Don't be surprised to see Robbie Kierstead a lot in there blocking again, too. See a lot of the power football just to keep things, like you said, moving straight down the field.
Nice.
Great.
Wow. And down to the 5, about the 4-yard line. Number 38 gets some head of steam, though. Tries to find something, but gets hurt. That's McLaughlin that finally brings him down.
That ball was so deep. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Piper. That was Piper and Ricky Oliver again, and McLaughlin coming right in to help him out.
That ball was so deep that his blockers were so far ahead of him. By the time the Riots broke through the initial line, I mean, the kid had no blocking. I feel for him.
1st and 10 for Marshwood Hawks.
Right
on our own 17-yard line. Looks 28 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Brett, you and I have been waiting for Ben to kick it into the end zone here this year, and he's getting close, ain't he?
Got a nice strong gust behind him today. And that's going to be a flag on the play.
I'd have to more say offsides, but offensive
delay.
Offsides.
Something offensive.
Of course.
That's very offensive.
Yeah. We're not impressed.
Ooh.
By the way, folks, we've been doing major battles with the Flies here as they love it warm in this booth with us.
It's not warm. It's cold up here.
And they're a little logy, so we're kind of snapping them in the air, doing a little foosball with them.
It's going to be a 1st down and 5.
I tell you, you can bet Orlando doesn't want to scramble a whole lot. He's been hit quite a few times running out of that pocket.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think he has much of a choice at this point.
Double back. Oh, Orlando draws. Oh, God.
Nowhere. You're not going anywhere.
Does not buy it. Timmy Lawson says, hello.
Lawson carries the ball on both sides of the ball here.
Jeez, that
carries
was
himself and the ball player.
Interesting draw play.
Talk a lot about Timmy Lawson and his offensive prowess, but this year, getting a chance to start at linebacker and really play both ways, he's come into one of the better linebackers in the league, and he's doing an awesome game today.
Absolutely. That was a solid hit. He had him locked on.
2nd down, motion. They give it off to Whalen, who doesn't find anything.
There's nothing.
The
That
wall
defense is
closes.
swollen.
Yeah, McGowan met him early as McGowan fought off his block and stayed right in his hole and made the tackle.
See, the Riots defense is so good that they'll give him 5 yards to start.
Look, see, here's what we talked about earlier. Brock Mooney going to come out for a play, and this is what Coach Wolfgram can see out there. He's got a big team they go against, and he's just going to give his guys a little bit of breather every so often. I think I kind of expected that, although I know these guys are also ready to play the whole game when they go out there. But this is why South Portland is as strong as they are, is they've got so much talent down there. They can just shuffle players in and out.
It's a good time for an interception right here.
I formation. Looks like they're coming 5 yards. Orlando keeps it for himself. He's going to try around outside. Nothing there.
Wow.
Oh, God.
All right, that hurt his whole family. That was such a stick, man.
Bobby
Ganley and Ed Buck, along with Timmy Lawson.
That was a hit.
Timmy Lawson really was the one that come in there on another blitz play and really pushed Orlando a little deeper, and Bobby Ganley hits him along with Ed Buck.
That was a big hit.
Jeez.
Let's take a look at that real quick here. Another play. Kierstead right in there.
That was a big hit.
Nothing there.
Oh, and then Lawson takes him off the top.
What a bunch. Defense playing well.
Good ball control here.
Back to the action. Nice punt up here. High.
Get away from it, boys. Get away.
Lawson fair catches and falls right on it. Fumbles it, but that's going to be an ugly kick, only about 20 yards.
And I'll tell you, one of the turnarounds last week against Biddeford was about a 4-yard punt by Biddeford that Marshwood was able to get real good field position on and run it back a little bit, and now they're having the same bad luck themselves.
Yep.
This wind blowing is really going to have a big effect, and South Portland scoring that touchdown was key because they're going to have to get the points up there before they give the wind back to Marshwood.
And I know you don't want to sit back on a lead, but fourth quarter is going to be holding their own, I'd say. Salamone is hit behind the line, nothing there.
We need a nail in the coffin right here.
Yep.
I'll tell you what,
Take
if South
all the
Portland
wind
scores
out.
here, you're right. This could go a long ways to saying, the game's almost over. But I don't think of Marshwood as an explosive team. Again, it's their defense that really scores some of the big explosive touchdowns. Their offense is a grind-out offense. But Orlando, I think, is a good quarterback. I don't think you can count on that.
Yeah, he's good, but I don't see any team scoring 3 touchdowns against this
Our line's
defense
No way.
phenomenal.
in one half.
T formation. Cook hands off to Lawson on the left side. Stumbles for about 7 yards.
And again, you're seeing people trying to tackle Timmy around his shoulders, and that just doesn't work. You've got to wrap him up.
This is why he should be a candidate for the Fitzy, I think. Things like that.
No doubt.
Things like that.
He's a fierce competitor, and again, this year, by playing both sides of the ball, they've got to be looking at him big this year. He has been so much to the South Portland team.
We got 2 plays to make 6 here.
You have a fascination with 6 yards, don't you?
Isn't it though? My math is good. I mean, I was one of the fastest ones in the slow group when it came to math.
3rd down and I'd say 7. Cook gives it to Lawson, who was in the backfield, tailback position, and he got about 4 yards.
I'll see we got 2 down play here. Coach Wolfram not panicking. We're not going to put it up. Cook a little hurting on his confidence, I think, in his passing ability today. So keep it on the ground. It's working.
4th down and 2.
Look at that clocking down 2 guys, by the way.
Is this a time for the Uptown Express?
I don't know. I doubt it. I bet we're just going to go off tackle here.
I think you're right, Brett. I think we're working well on the short runs. I don't believe we'll see anything fancy here. All we want
Guys,
is a
I've
first
made
down.
about 4 calls here, I want you to know, so far. And
Official timeout, and there's Lawson has blood on his elbow,
he has to come out, so
he
that
has to
changes
come out.
things.
Salamone, and it's going to be a Salamone and Kierstead backfield. Interesting call right now.
Well, Chris has been running tough today. If they can give him a little bit of a hole, he can pick you up that 2-3 yards.
Oh, yeah. High formation. Looks like Marshwood's coming in. And they draw him offside.
They got him.
Just
We
what
need
they
it.
wanted.
They did it.
I tell you, that's been the 12th man for us at penalty.
Jason Cook maybe don't have his throwing arm on today real well, but he did a nice job with the cadence that time to pull them off sides.
I tell you what, I saw Upton out there in the wing. The way his 3-point stance was, he was facing the quarterback a little bit. I bet he was coming.
He was coming. It's interesting now because they change up the formation for that counter every time now.
Well, Mooch, I know you
remember
played for
running
Coach
that. I remember
Wolfram.
that was the position. I hadn't played that one. I know that. You do kind of sneak in a little bit.
1st and 10 for the Riots on the 20-yard line, and Cook gives it to Lawson on the left side. Beautiful hole. Bumps and grinds for about 8 yards.
Yeah, he's going to be close to a first down there as he's only about a yard or so away.
You know, he keeps those legs chugging so fast and so hard. Someone grabs onto him, but he always picks up 2 or 3 more after.
Well, that's big boys out there for the Marshwood team, and they think they can tackle Timmy by grabbing around the shoulders, and they just haven't learned yet. Plus, Timmy runs low anyway. He's a hard guy to get down low on.
Second down. And
all we heard of was about the Marshwood fullback, but he's at this point is non-existent.
Well, Timmy's what, over 100 yards probably now?
Oh,
Brett?
I'm sure now. Yeah, he was on over 100 yards first carry.
This is big here.
They're all big. I formation. They give it a loss on the left side. Big Mack truck hole, but it's closed quickly, and it's going to be close.
Well, that time, big 300-pound Mark Hallway stepped right up, and he can tackle Timmy around the shoulders.
well, he should be able to do it at least once today.
Well, that's the second time, I think. That's all, though.
He really hasn't been a factor, has he?
He has not been a big factor.
A couple times.
Oh, I think when they had their drives there going, they were running right behind him a couple times. And, yeah, he was opening up some holes. But our guys have really kept him under control as well as Wright and Whalen, really.
1st and 10. Coach Wolfgram bringing Nate Davis out a little bit, maybe giving him a little breather here.
Geez, that was a big play getting that first down on that offsides.
Yep.
Huge
Not
play.
that we couldn't do it without it. And
we'll take anything at this point.
Well, again, we're in two-play territory. You need a yard and a half. You know Coach Wolfgram will go after it. And South Poland, again, if they score another touchdown, yes, we're well on our way, I think, to heading for the States.
I formation. Kierstead and Lawson.
Time.
Yeah, there was some confusion there as exactly what was to be run.
Well, so far the paper's on the money, 21.
I don't know how
3, I don't know. What are they
going
going to get? They're going to get 2 safeties.
2 safeties. Yeah, okay.
Oh, 4 home runs.
I bet they'd get the 4 home runs before they got the 2
Probably.
safeties.
Probably right.
Well, like I said, Marshwood last week against Biddeford, this is how they scored their touchdowns. Third quarter, Rio picked off that lateral from Parisian as he got into the backfield real quick and ran all the way 52 yards for a TD. Then the Hawks did put on a sustained drive. They went 11 running plays and 52 yards and scored a touchdown there. Pat Hadscomb intercepted a ball on the 26-yard line and went to the 1, and then, of course, Wright pounded it across. And then the Tigers had that 4-yard punt. And Marshall was on the 41, and 9 straight runs later, Wright runs in for a touchdown.
Wright is not doing much, though, today. He's got less than 30 yards with about 10 carries.
Yeah, plus he's out of the game now in terms of being a factor anyways. They can't go to him. They don't have enough time.
Well, that's right, and if we get into another touchdown here, if we get into that point
then he's completely
quarter,
out of it.
Then it's up to our secondary.
Yeah,
and I agree with a good quarterback. Our secondary needs to be sharp. They've been beat a couple times big this year, but
and Marshwood has
never
some
a lot.
speed back there.
That's right.
So here we go. We got a 3-back. Upton shifts down to the wing. Cook under center. 3rd down. Pitch it out to Lawson, who's hit behind the line, but not enough.
Oh,
wow. Plows his way through for 5 yards.
He just ran over whoever.
Yeah,
that was 7.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Let's see.
Mishu.
Yeah, Troy Mishu.
Just
and
ran over him.
I'll tell you, Marshwood talked a lot about they wanted to meet Tim Lawson. Well, they met him every day.
1st and 10 on the 6-yard line. 3:46 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
I tell you again, that's the beauty of this offense. You know, having Chris Salamone back there. I mean, he can cut and slash, and then, you know, Tim running from the fullback position, and then you put him back in a tailback. I mean, how can you stop that much?
Expect to see something outside here with Salamone this time.
Marshwood down 6 on the front.
Yeah, we're coming wide.
T formation. Give to Lawson up the shoot. Nothing
He's
there.
in the end zone.
God.
This one's over. We're going to state.
I'll tell you what, 27-3, and South Poland looking like they're on their way to a victory. A lot of time left, but let's hope that Marshwood isn't that big a comeback team.
Can't see it. I can't see anyone scoring 4 touchdowns on this team.
No, neither can
They've
I.
only had how many touchdowns all year scored on them?
But I'll tell you, it's been an impressive
Extra
display,
point.
Mooch, by the defense.
I will take another look at that real quickly. Timmy Lawson barrels his way through there. Oh, you can't see it much, but there's the end.
Yeah,
Touchdown.
I remember our bad call there, folks, as we figured Salamone was going to come wide on one, and we were wrong.
See, you can tell, too, everyone on the Marshwood side hoping that same hope of the comeback similar to last week. I mean, but South Portland's doing exactly what they hoped that they could do, controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides. I mean, it's not even close at this point. I'm surprised, really, that it would be this quick a turnaround so quick here in the second half.
Now, don't we have South Poland, I think, not getting the #1 ranking at the end of the season? Had to stick in their craw a little bit, but again, they're not a super emotional team. They play with a lot of intensity. but they're not a super emotional. They never really let that bother them. And then Marshwood really made that null and void by beating Biddeford and end up South Poland here for 3 straight games in the playoffs.
And you can feel it. The weight has lifted a little bit here, folks. The kids are all happy, and there's still a whole quarter left, but 28-0 is a pretty large deficit. And I think this team has a lot of character, and they won't lose it enough to lose.
Well, Marshwood won't grind us down now, Brett. There's no doubt about that. There's enough adrenaline left now that there's no way they can grind us down. They're going to have to go for big plays.
And there's some people leaving.
Yeah. No, I think that's
not a lot though. They sticking by him pretty good.
I think it's the Marshwood side.
But here we are into the second half with a 28-3 lead, but a different feel this time.
Here it is. I'm predicting in the end zone for Ben Beck right now.
Well, this is probably his last kick with the win, more than likely, so he wants to really get a foot into this one.
Yeah. Interesting, in the backfield, they're shifting at the last minute here.
Yeah, as if that's going to matter.
Oh, beautiful high kick down to the 6-yard line. 44 picks it up.
Oh,
and is hit
man.
and hurt.
Oh.
And, I'm sorry.
Fumble, too.
I apologize for that one.
That was huge.
No, Bobby Ganley's on top of the ball down there, and he gave it to the official, but they're saying the guy was down.
I feel safe up here.
So the Kamikazes do their job, and they have not got. There's been one return to the 25-yard line, and for high school sports, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Matt Witten, matter of fact, shook himself up a little bit. He kind of overran the play, but he stuck an arm out there and really stood the receiver up, and everybody else just clobbered him afterwards.
So I formation, Orlando trying to do something here. They pitch it off quickly to Witten. Excuse me, that's White. Right.
Yeah.
Gets
They're doing that just to get some breathing room to get a better second down.
6 yards for second down.
Well, again, we talked about how successful they were by doing that, but the trouble is they cannot trudge away like that. We know they're going to have to go up big, and I think probably Lajeunesse wants to also say, hey, I'm still going to run and try to draw our safeties in a little bit and then see if he can go over the top.
Second down and 4. Marshwood official timeout here.
Well, Sean Upton and Nate Davis and Rick Oliver are going to play an important part in this rest of this game here, as they're going to have to keep that ball contained, not letting people get out beyond them.
Double back. They give it to Wright, who barrels his way through, close to a first down.
Hey, let them run. Let them take time off the clock for us.
Well, have they conceded the game is what we're wondering. Are they running? They're on defense now, doing a nice job as he was in on the tackle there. And Andy Wright is a loadful as he is really dragging people around. But
this
again,
really works our advantage here.
I think you're right. They're going to give him the 5 yards. Go ahead. I think they're just protecting against the razzle-dazzle play is what they're doing right now. So Orlando, behind the line, nothing there.
Oh, but Whalen didn't stop.
Whalen got about a yard out of that, but geez, there were 4 red shirts in there.
There was a mugging going on.
Yeah, that was McLeod, McLaughlin, and McGowan. All the Macs.
Second down and 10.
He just got tagged down by a Mac attack.
2:18 left to go in the third period. Right,
to yuck it up more. That was funny.
That was good. That was
3.
That was fine. I didn't want to burst out over to you.
Double back. Orlando pitches it, gives it to Whalen, who tries to bump outside. He does. He's got room. He's down to the 45, brought out of bounds by Davis.
Yeah, nice. 1,200 yards for the season. He can really get motoring once he gets some room.
30-yard gain, and Marshwood's trying to find.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marshwood, I don't believe there's any die in this team. I just think that they know if they panic and try to throw all the time, it'll be even more detrimental.
And Jason Cook is in for a rover for Ben Beck. Ben's played a tough game so far. He's taking a little breather here. He's on every play. They give it to Wright, who gets 5.
Yeah, Wright brought down, and that time some straight power right in. And we said, remember their success always came with that 4 or 5 yard first down.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to stay cool and calm here. It'll be up to South Poland defense to hold their own.
They've got a long way to go if they're going to maintain that kind of football mentality, though.
Exactly so. You know they're going to have to eventually. They're going to have to open it up. But I think
that works for us.
That's right. That's right.
Ben Beck back in the game is rover. And they give it to Wright again quickly, but they stop quickly, and it's going to bring up a third down and about 4.
Again, they're in 2-down territory down here now, especially being down by 4 touchdowns. I don't think there's any panic here, but they're looking any minute now. I think you've got to watch. They don't have some real big speed, but they've got enough now to get outside of maybe our backs and try to go to the end zone with a pass.
Hans comes in. He is their burner.
even the times that they've passed, I mean, we put such, we had such great penetration on and put heat on him as he's rolling out. So
Orlando keeps it for himself, he's looking in the middle.
There it is.
Huge pass, and Davis intercepts it.
He can run,
and
no.
that is, he can run. He's still
baby.
up.
He can run.
He's still up. He breaks to the outside right. And
One
he's
tackle.
Still up. Finally, he's out about the 17-yard line.
That's a little bit of celebration. Hey, I'll just take a second. How you doing? Okay.
Did you see that great over-the-shoulder catch too he made? I mean, great catch.
Oh, that was great.
Celebrating down there. Yo!
Celebration. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's beautiful.
Taking a look at that real quickly.
That's beautiful.
Right in the middle there. Nate Davis makes a beautiful catch right there.
He's
got a little room.
How you doing? Okay. All right, now what do you say? Let's run. That's beautiful. That was good.
All right, we're coming back here.
That was
so
classic.
South Poland on the offense
That was
now.
classic.
So Riots.
That sounds like
starting
that was
nice
beautiful.
tackle there as Chris Salamone tried to go up the middle, but Marshwood closing the hole very quickly.
and that could basically be the straw, I think.
Yeah, oh, no doubt.
There's 1 quarter left, but geez, it's the same score, folks.
Well, I'll tell you what, the secondary did exactly what we said they had to do. They had to make sure that nobody got behind them. They didn't. That time, Davis with good position, able to make the pickoff. Now we're down about 16 seconds here. I don't even know if we'll get a playoff. Yeah, I guess we will. One more play here in the third quarter. South Poland with a 28-3 lead.
They're in the tee. They give it to Lawson up the chute. Gets about 4.
Again, very hard to get down low as Lawson kind of drags people. Doesn't get a lot, but still makes progress at all times.
So that the end of 3, Riots are up 28-3. 1 more quarter left to go, and the Riots look they are state champ bound here. They're going to the state championship.
Yeah, we're going to our home away from home, Fitzpatrick Stadium.
Well, I'll tell you, the fans are up on their feet here for their Red Riots as the South Poland team going into the fourth quarter with a 4-touchdown lead. And I don't know as we expected that, although on a dry field, we did figure that the excess talent of South Poland and the diversity would help them really get up on top.
Take another look at that interception by Nate Davis. See here, Nate Davis is going to be right in the middle.
See if he catches it again.
He does.
He did. He caught
and
it
he
again.
doesn't know what to do with it right now.
Oh,
hey, you can
great.
run, you can run.
Oh, man, that's classic.
Did a nice job. Well,
Alrighty, we're back in action for fourth quarter action. And they give it to Lawson off tackle, but there's nothing there. I'll bring up a 4th down, and it looks like the punt squad that we have not seen yet.
It's the first punt.
Is this the first punt for the Red Riots?
Punt.
It is.
Hallway bringing Lawson down on that play after a very short gain. We're at 4th down now. South Poland will kick the ball away.
Yeah, you were saying that in reference to Biddeford, talking about the way to the state championship, the gold ball is through Biddeford. Yeah, it went through Biddeford for a week, and now it's back here.
And Marshwood's coming,
Nice,
but
a
nothing
beauty.
there. Nice kick.
Yes.
Oh, nice
Great
roll.
bounce.
That's going to roll down to the 43-yard line. And Marshwood will have to try something here with 11-14 left to go in the 4th. Pretty much that's going to do it.
Well, we know we'll do some running just to kind of move down the field a little bit, just to try to keep the South Poland defense honest.
Who do you think is going to get the next interception?
Well, I don't know. I think Oliver's due for one, but it looks to me like Davis is playing the deep safety as he is staying back deep. On the last play we saw that. And but
I'm gonna call McLeod. McLeod's going to pull the next one down, I think. Mike McLeod. We're going to have twins out to the right. They're not even going to mess around here. Orlando, quick pass over to the right.
Oh, there's a collision there.
Bobby Ganley stays
Ben
at home, sets him up, and Ben Beck lays him down.
God, Beck is just everywhere.
The Marshwood offense is saying, we're bigger. They are a little smaller, but man, they can hit.
Well, I'll tell you, we have made them feel it, and they are bigger. But where are they bigger? Really in the line. Although Andy Wright, 250 pounds, is a big guy.
Yes, he is. I don't see him doing much though. He's had one. The longest run he's got is a 7-yarder.
Well, we talked about Marshwood has never met a team like South Poland with the athleticism they've got and the quickness.
And they give it off to Wright met Lawson, and it looked like a stalemate to me.
Yeah, and you got Ed Buck in there helping out along with Robbie Kisted.
Tim Lawson has just played an unbelievable football game.
Yes, he has. A lot of the both-siders have played
my
great
goodness.
games today. Lawson and Ben Beck's played good. Mooney's played good today.
You know, Wright, when he runs, though, he runs straight up, and what a big target. And if he ever learned to really put his head down a little bit, he could be almost unstoppable.
3rd and 5. I formation. We got guys on both sides split out. And they give it to Wright, who's hit quickly.
Goes nowhere.
There's nothing there.
Boy, McGowan has got a hold of his feet. Before he had the ball, McGowan had his feet.
I am so surprised that they're staying with a run and trying to put, trying to get him up the middle. I mean, he takes a day and a half to, to gain what yardage he does.
And it
I'm
looks
surprised
like
they're staying with that.
That's a stubborn coach down there, obviously, as he will not give up the notion that his team can run on anybody. And
hello, coach. You're behind by 4 touchdowns. Hello, anybody home over there?
And he's going to punt.
They will punt it.
Give me a break.
I'm sure. Watch the fake is on right now. Lawson and Oliver back deep, of course. It is back. Good kick.
Oh, we went after that, too.
Oliver running. Picks it up and is brought out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
I'll say one thing for that center on the punt. Boy, he can zip the ball back
Dead solid, perfect.
to the punter. I mean, they haven't done much today, but they have a good, quick snap on the punt. How's that?
I've been very impressed today with the offense. South Portland's offense has done a nice job in the second half. Usually they're lacking. We see the defense take over second half, and usually the first half score is the second half is the final. And that's 21-0, and we see that a lot. But South Portland's, they've scored twice, and they continue to roll. They've done a great job today. 1st and 10. They give it to Salamone around the end.
Tomorrow, nice block.
Salamone does a little stutter step and gets through. He's finally brought down at about the 48-yard line, and a great run by Chris Salamone.
Drew Tomorrow was a pulling guard on that one, and boy, I'll tell you, he laid a block and a half on his man. Matter of fact, he hit him so hard he knocked himself down.
I'll give that one to Salamone, though. He definitely did some nice little moves there.
He did. Picked his hose well. Waited on a couple blocks.
That's the footwork of Chris Salamone. He's got such speed, but he also has great footwork, and he can adjust and turn on a dime.
That's the beauty of this offense, with both Chris and Tim. Who do you expect? You get Tim Lawson with the ball 2-3 times, and then Chris right back. That's beautiful.
Give it to Lawson up the gut, and he's got about probably 5 yards. I saw Josh in there throwing a block. It's a body check, but hey, it's still a block.
I'll tell you what, Josh has had his hands full today, too, because that is a big line down there.
See, there's 2 plays, and we've gained 30 yards.
Yeah. My hats are always off to the centers on a team anyway. The center has to not only center the ball and make sure the quarterback gets it cleanly, he then has to worry about a block, and usually it's one of the bigger, more aggressive guys on the team coming at you.
And we've got Lawson, who's getting taped up again. He's just bleeding from everywhere, both elbows and knee. 2nd down and 6. They give it to Salamone off the right tackle.
Look at the hole there.
He pushes almost close to a 1st down. He's up to about the 30.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just shy.
45, sorry.
But we'll pick it up.
He does get 5 on that. Salamone's having a great spurt here.
Well, I'll tell you, last week when we were in the mud, I mean, it was exciting to see Timmy get all the running plays and stuff like that, and he had a great game, and the line blocked well for him. But you kind of miss the excitement of Chris Salamone back there. You know he can break things at any moment, and it's good to see him having a good day today.
Yeah, exactly.
3rd down and 1. They give it to Salamone again, who has a 1st down. No problem.
He had to do some bulling himself that time, a little lightning himself, thunder himself on that one, as he had the power for that one.
And as they peel off, the clock continues to click. There's 7:38 left to go in this game, and it looks like the Riots have this one pretty much summed up right now, folks.
Well, I think they're done patching some of the leaks on Timmy Lawson down here, but I think they're going to give him a rest.
Yep.
Team's playing pretty well without him. No sense in getting him hurt.
28-3. Marshwood has not been the offensive force that we expected it to be. Really a test for the defense, but still the defense prevails quite well.
They showed us something, but our defense was up to it.
Salamone around the end. He's got some blockers.
Oh, nice cut by Chris.
Cuts up, and he gets 5.
That was a good cut back into the flow of traffic.
He saw the hole, and he knew he had about 5 yards, and he got into it very quickly. Marshwood has shown us some things that we haven't seen other teams. I mean, their size and their power, but our defense has played. I think that's the best I've seen the defensive line play all year long against a team that they were really overmatched by, and just, I mean, took it right to them.
2nd down and 5. Riots just basically eating the clock up. It's not going to do anything. But
yeah, that's a good-looking
drive
at the end of the game.
Salamone around the end or Lawson up the chute?
Upton.
Your call.
Upton.
And they give it to Lawson up the middle.
Well, they didn't figure he had enough leaks on his body yet, so they let him run it again and see if we can draw a little more blood.
And he's shaking up a little bit on the play. Looks like he twisted an ankle or something.
Well, he's walking
fine.
pretty good, but you're right. He got up very slow, Brett.
38.
And that's a good. There we go. You're going to bring him off the field. There's no sense beating a horse to death.
And Timmy Lawson gets an ovation here.
Well deserved. 6:15 left to go in this game. Sal pulling up 28-3, and really the offense in control.
Third down in about
Way in
4.
control.
T formation. They give it to Salamone around the end.
DeMauro out there.
Nice
Another block.
He's off. He's out at the 25. Finally out of bounds at about the 23-yard line.
Drew DeMauro is just doing a great job pulling out there.
Yeah, the entire line is just blowing Marshwood off the ball at this point.
He gets out there. He's like a heat-seeking missile waiting for some warm body to come near him so he can smack into it. And Chris Salamone is saying, thank you, Drew.
What I'm impressed with is Mooney is still getting out there and still his opening blocker, and he's played both ways all game.
Mooney's had a great game, and we saw McLaughlin come in for him a little bit there on defense the last couple of plays. So Brock, he's an important player on that offense too.
The line hasn't let up. They have just been playing so consistent. So consistent this
Going the
entire
other way
ball
this
game.
time.
Salamone
Huge
through.
goal.
Got some room.
He's cutting up. He's got the first down. He's still up. Finally pushed out of bounds.
That was a
Does
nice
not
little
give
cut
up.
inside, then back outside.
And it looks like Marshwood's getting up slow. I think they're realizing that it's just about over for
they're
them.
a beat team.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Salamone out there looking for a 100-yard game.
Oh, geez,
game
he's
himself.
passed.
He's passed it. Yeah, I figured he probably would be. And Chris running with some abandon. Again, I'm glad to see the weather the way it was. I thought we would have a big advantage with our diversity in a good weather game, a good field game, and we've done just that.
And right now, Salamone does have 130 yards.
Wow.
What's so impressive, we've been
Nice
able
going,
to
Chris.
maintain control of the line of scrimmage for 4 quarters, nonstop. That's so impressive.
First and 10. Salamone off the left side.
Look at this.
He's
Look at
got
this.
5, and that's going to be a stalemate, but he still gets plenty of yards on that.
Well, I'll tell you what. You got Brock Mooney down there. You got Drew DeMauro on the offensive line. Let me see, we get everybody. Tom Hansen,
Josh Wolfgram, tomorrow, and
Wolfgram.
Diorio.
Diorio. I mean, these guys, they're incredible. I mean, this is the absolute best game I've seen them as far as dominating from the start to the finish.
Exactly.
And they have usually a lot of times second half. South Portland doesn't play their offense much, and the offense has been on the field most of the second half.
Blame that on early leads, right?
Yep.
This is a consistent drive. This is excellent. Where did they start from? Down on our 20?
On the 20-yard line. Second down and 5. Excuse me. They pitch out to Salamone. He's got plenty of room. Nice block by Kierstead.
He's
and
in.
Salamone is in for a touchdown.
Well, the route is on, folks, and South Portland doing nothing fancy but a workmanlike job on this Marshwood defense.
That's beautiful. Get out the gowns. We're going to the big dance.
Woo-hoo.
By the way, your mother's down there. I just saw a big smile on her face. I think she is calm now.
I think Coach Wolfgram will even know that it's just about over now. Who's going in? Come on, somebody's got to go in. Nope, they're not going to have a run.
Well, we got 2 teams playing each other that put 35 points on the board in the finals. Could be an interesting matchup.
I think it'll be a very interesting matchup as Lawrence, highly touted this year themselves, having an undefeated season.
Plus, they got Pete Cooper up there. Pete Cooper up there, who's retiring after many, many years.
Yeah. And you know something? That used to be the rivalry up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know that as much as I do.
That's right. The Gardner-Lawrence game. Pete Cooper and John Wolfgram, not only great coaches but good friends. And
take another look at that real quickly. Salamone off the left side here for you.
Yeah, it's a nice run in here by Chris, but look at his lead blockers out there.
Yeah. Kierstead just had a beautiful lead block.
Ben Beck out in front of him out there. This team, the offensive line, really gets some kudos from me today because I've seen them play a solid full game of offense out there. They have not given up, and again, blame the big leads early on against these kids, and they lose a little intensity late in the game. But today, boy, they have been fired up the whole game.
And I tell you right now, the fans are fired up. They got a standing ovation here, and they deserve it.
Absolutely. I think the offensive line, the defense, as well as they've played, we expected that, but the offensive line has really shown their stuff today.
They took control of the game. You know, it's so easy to look at the running backs and the quarterbacks putting points on the board, but I tell you what, you have an offensive line that week in, all year long has given a tremendous effort, won the battle in the trenches, and certainly established themselves today as to why they are undefeated still after 2 years.
Well, I think Timmy Lawson, we'll put a little pressure on him. Timmy Lawson and Salamone should take the front line out for dinner this week.
Oh, yeah. 4:36 left to go. Ben Beck probably kicking off here. Second to last time of the game. It's a low kick. Nice kick over
Good idea
down
to
at
win.
about the 15-yard line, 44. Trying to find something.
Yeah,
he's
he's
through
just
his first
stopped.
line of defense, but gets their best run so far at about a 32-yarder.
Yeah, Bobby Ganley made the final stop, but a lot of people had a hand on him, slowed him down a little bit.
You know, Brett, back to Pete Cooper. You know,
Yep.
they've been friends for years. John and Pete played each other, and I think John beat Lawrence in Gardner back in
Yep.
the late 80s for a state championship. I
Yes,
think it was
they
on
did.
a field goal even.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the last year we were at Gardner.
And, you know, then, of course, 4 years ago in 92 when...
And they're going to give it, Wright, who's getting some room. And he's finally gets up to the 50-yard line. He got a nice little run there.
No, it wasn't 92. It wasn't 92. Yeah, I guess it was 92.
1992 we played Lawrence, and that was another
In the Mud Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's some incentive there for Lawrence to want, you know, they want to send Pete Cooper,
Yep.
you know, on retirement by winning the state championship game and avenge an earlier loss to South Portland Red Riots. Going to be very interesting.
First and 10, Hawks trying to find something. They give it to Whalen, who gets about a yard, right? Still playing tough here.
I'll tell you what, this game is over, and I think the Hawks know it. They're just going to go, and they're going to run their stars into the line. Nothing fancy. They don't want to go out of here with just a lot of big bombs and interceptions. They're going to just kind of control the ball and try to do what their strength is.
And it's 3:54 left to go in the game. And I think they're just trying to get their runners some yardage here. Do have some new backs, though. Maybe some, that's number 48, doesn't get anything.
Well, South Portland's still playing their -- 1 defense out there. They're not going to give
They're
much.
not going to give up any touchdowns.
I see a few guys out there. McLaughlin's playing a lot on defense now, which is a good idea. We're going up against another big team, against Lawrence next week. And you're going to need the backups just like we had today. Mooney getting a breakdown here with the rest of the offensive line, just sitting down saying,
Third down, and we do have some fresh faces in there. I think we're going to just see some seniors playing right now for Marshwood. Third down, they give it to Wright, who is pulled down for about a 1-yard gain.
He is a big horse, but look at the tackles all down low around the ankles. That's where they belong. That was Bobby Ganley making the initial contact as he wraps him up.
You know, the Riots, I haven't seen, they haven't dominated, as you said earlier, Mike. I mean, obviously they've been undefeated, but to dominate a team like they have today, Marshwood Hawks, I mean, you can take that, you know what, that heel point rating system doesn't mean a whole hill of beans today, does it?
Oh, no. Oh, no, it don't.
Well, I'm not a fan of it anyway, so.
Fourth down, this is big. 3-step for Orlando. He goes deep. Two guys there.
Throws a pretty ball.
Not
but,
enough.
Nice job there, I thought, by Davis. He could have probably picked up an interference call. He got a little more aggressive. He decided to hold off and just let it go over everybody's head.
He's got a pretty ball, but this isn't the pass, punt, and kick competition. I mean, you got to hit somebody.
Well, now they got to give the ball back to South Portland.
And South Portland does have another opportunity here. See if we get somebody else. I don't know if anybody's gotten a 3-0 lately. We might get somebody in there running.
Well, I'll tell you, we've seen a beautiful, what was that, an 80-yard pass play early on to Matt Best from Jason Cook. Our passing game has not been right on today. Jason hasn't been really on target well.
No passes, and there was absolutely no passing in the second half.
But the offensive line says, forget the pass, guys. He says, we'll make the holes, and Timmy Lawson and Chris Salamone filled them.
And Salamone gets the call. He's off the left tackle. He's got 5.
That's taking some pressure off Jason Cook, too. I know he's feeling bad. You could see it, obviously, from throwing those 3 interceptions. And
he's not feeling too bad right now,
though. Not feeling too bad right now.
And
look at this. Here we go.
There goes the second squad.
That's right. Give them a chance.
Riots get a standing ovation here.
Good job, guys. Great job.
I'm all for that. As the
Good
fans
day
are
at
up.
work. Good day at work today.
2 minutes left to go, and the Riots getting handshakes galore. Stands are on their feet.
Well, I work out to the mill, and I'm surrounded by Westbrook people out there. Of course, no matter what we play, we're always it's always a rivalry between Westbrook and South Portland.
Well, I don't know about that.
We got a lot of those guys.
They might be a little mad that we beat them all the time.
There's always a rivalry. They always want to see us get beat anyway.
Yeah, well, we score as many points on a football field against them as they do in basketball.
And Mims pushes his way for 5, maybe now about 3 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marshwood put a hurt on Mims right then as they says, hey, look, there's a guy that hasn't had the ball yet. Let's see if we can at least pound him into the ground.
I know.
It's a lot safer on the sidelines.
But I got a lot of people I work with that are here today, and several of them said they were sitting on the winner's side of the field as they walked across to where the purple is. And so, in your face, guys.
35 points against a huge Marshwood defense.
Chris Mims skirting to the outside now as he's going to pick up.
Outside, and this could be a touchdown for Chris Mims. He can stay up. Chris Mims has scored. Yes.
All right.
All right. Chris Mims, who has not gotten to score this year, is a senior, and he definitely deserves that one.
Against their first defense.
Exactly right, and you said it, Brett. Chris, who's a senior, this is
That's
last
beautiful.
year, gets a chance to break one open, and I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. He had to break a tackle or two.
And it looks like they're going to be kicking here. Actually, what's going to happen? Come on, let's.
That's incredible, folks. That is incredible.
Chris Mims definitely gets one. That's going to feel good.
They'll be celebrating big time on that now. And again, they've got one more game, and if we can get ahead of Lawrence, some of these seniors may see some time in that game too. So, but this could be the last game for some of these seniors, depending on how next week works out. And it's good to see one of them really get something that he's well deserved. A lot of hard work went into that touchdown.
And Kierstead,
oh, that's a
ugly
dark
kick,
shooter.
but hey, well, like it matters. 41-3.
I think that's exactly what he was saying.
We'll take another look at that right here. Chris Mims, watch the footwork for Chris Mims here. Off to the left side, keeping in bounds right here. Beautiful job.
Keeps his balance.
Mims gets 6 points.
All right.
That's a man with some spunk.
Running right into the camera.
Back
too,
to see if there's any flags or whistles. That's beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talk about the South Poland team having uneven temperament, but there's some fired up kids down there right now. They know they're on their way to the state game. Well-deserved, 23 straight wins, and they have just been on one heck of a streak here the last couple of years.
Kicking teams getting plenty of practice today.
I told you, did I tell you that it was Ben Beck's second to last kickoff of the game? I knew they'd score again.
41 points. I'll tell you what.
And some quick notes. Salamone is going to end the game with 150 yards.
Wow. Good game for Chris.
150 yards, yep.
And 2 touchdowns.
Well, as you said, Lawson, well, he's adding up the numbers now, but Lawson, he's probably had himself a big day, too. Ben Beck kicking into the win. I don't expect to see this one get in the end zone.
And Lawson has 143 yards.
Incredible.
Man, almost 300 yards.
Can you imagine
two
that?
Backs.
Well, I mean, then look at Mims. I mean, for a team, that's right, we're well over 300 yards.
Then passing, we probably have close to
We got 100
80
passing.
yards.
We have 100.
Wow.
400 yards total offense.
The hitting hasn't stopped down there, folks. The South Poland really put a hit
We
there.
got more than that. I mean, Mims just ran for 40.
Yeah. So we're well over 300 yards for the day.
No, 400, 450.
Wright's got 60 yards, 65 yards right now.
Ryan Piper with a big hit there on that kickoff, as you saw him finally lay the runner out from Marshwood.
What a performance. I'll tell you what a performance this is today.
I'll tell you, it's a cold day out there in the stands, folks.
Championship.
And these people are up on their feet, and they're loving it. I don't think anybody's shivering right now.
You know, in seasons past, this game has been, this Western Maine Championship's been close, been a shootout. Man, this has been a rout. Incredible.
43 seconds left. Marshwood.
There's a scrum going on.
There's a fumble.
Oh, yep. South Poland, I think, has recovered a fumble.
And we're going to have one more shot.
When it rains, it pours, guys.
37 seconds ago, and South Poland, I think, will touch a knee here.
I think they'll touch a couple of knees. With the second squad in, I don't know. He might
give the ball to somebody, yeah.
Give it to somebody who's in there.
I see Mills in there. Is he a receiver or is he in the backfield? Maybe we'll see Nate get the ball.
McLeod, is he having a blast down there celebrating or what, man?
Yeah, these guys are state championship bound, second year in a row.
Well, like you said earlier, Mooch, our home away from home, we're going back to the Fitzy.
Going back to Fitzy.
And that is going to just about do it. Game. 36 yards. The South Portland football team is motioning the South Portland Zoo crew to join them on the field for a celebration of the last home game of the season. Of course, Riots better record will go in home next week, won't they?
No, that's true. South Portland going over there to play Lawrence, 2 undefeated teams, just like they were the last time, and they met in '92.
It is.
It's almost not fair, you know.
Clock clicks down, and that's going to do it.
Western Maine
5
champs.
seconds, and they are Western Maine champs playing Lawrence next week.
And as you said, here comes the Zoo Crew right out onto the field. Rich Rio walks slowly out there. He would love to be suited up for this game, but he's got to be proud of his teammates.
And this is going to
Great
do it.
win.
A couple last stats, of course. 150 yards for Salamone, 143 for Lawson. Mims had geez, a 50-yard gain there, so he's up there in yardage right now. And a big factor right now as you look at it. There was only one pass completion for Orlando. Orlando passed 128, a 28-yard pass, and the rest of them were, he had one interception, the rest of them were no catches. He had actually 2 interceptions.
Yeah, a couple of decent drives by them, but nothing really big. We made some turnovers. They looked like they were going to capitalize. Only ended up with 1 field goal. South Poland defense really put the kibosh to these guys.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to dominate, a game, today certainly was it. And man, they did that from start to finish. Control the line of scrimmage, and you see the end result.
Yeah, one more to go, though. I'm sure
One
they're
more
thinking
to go.
now.
Yeah.
One more to go. This season is not over yet.
That's right. Well, we can celebrate. It's okay. You have permission to celebrate
Right.
tonight, guys.
2
And,
Class A teams left practicing this weekend. South Poland Red Riots and the Lawrence Bulldogs. They will meet next week at Fitzpatrick Stadium for the state championship. So we'll hope you will join us there. And
It's gonna take a heck of an effort by a team from Eastern Maine, to come down here and to have their way. I mean, if South Poland's a buzzsaw, I mean, you obviously expect the team to play and have the momentum that they have at this point, but if South Poland plays it the way they played today, I don't see anyone coming close to them. Incredible, tremendous effort today.
Alrighty. So anything last words, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to next week's game. I'm a little surprised at the runaway here today, but I'm not surprised at the performance the South Poland team put on. We've had too many blowouts. The intensity has been up and down throughout the season. We haven't seen real good second halves a lot of times. Today we saw them play with intensity for a full 48 minutes, and they're going to need
Never
one more
let
effort
up.
like that.
Yes, they will.
absolutely.
So we're out of here. This is it. We'll take off and hope we'll see you next week for the last game of the Red Riots 1996 season. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe, and we'll see you later.